Our language teacher giving us some work exam on Thursday.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Is my screen sharing?
Yes, so.
Okay, good. All right, so
Wait,
welcome.
so Mr. B, we
Go ahead.
practice them language thing for them, eh?
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Like say the second half. We're gonna do some math first, and then um, and then we're gonna do um, and then we're gonna get into the language. So this is day one, week 17. Day one, week 17. I can't believe I'm saying that. I hope I'm right. Is that this week 17 or week 16? Oh yeah, week 17.
17.
Goodness. Wow. That sounds so big and huge. So 17 weeks, Miss Cooper. We've been on this platform. 17 long weeks. Um,
Yeah, very long.
so we're almost done though. We're almost done.
I feel like we fly through these weeks.
You feel like we fly through them?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we did, we did when you really think about it. But I just feel like January just start, and the year almost end, man. Like one moment just you just blink and oh, time gone. Um, but yeah, time waits for no man, and so we have to get going. Um, Last week some of you mentioned some of the things that you want me to go over. Um, One of them that I heard from several of you was matrices, and and of course transformations was mentioned and stuff. But I think we could use some good practice on matrices. Um, but matrices is not difficult, so don't be afraid of it. It's just that for matrices, y'all can see my screen, right?
So,
Yeah, okay. Just that for matrices, you have to be careful, all right, and you have to understand the I guess you could say the fundamentals of it. Um, but once you do, you should be right on point. And so we're gonna review matrices.
Mr. T,
Uh-huh.
you mind sending that thing all the topics we have for BGC again, please? Because my laptop messed up, so I get another one and I have the stuff saved.
Oh, you mean the syllabus?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I could send that. I could send that. You mean the link?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem, no problem. That's fine. Um,
Because it was a topic on there what I wanted you to review, but I remember.
oh, you don't remember? Okay, no problem. Thank you. All right. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Auntie. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Ready for the big day tomorrow?
I think I okay. I think I'm tired ready.
Tired, ready? Okay.
Yeah.
You sound better than.
Dude,
Yes, sir.
like you need some advice for tomorrow.
Yeah, we gonna definitely gonna look at that for sure. Um, Let me share my screen with you all. Uh, okay, good. So we probably about 7 o'clock we can transition. Um, so let's go over matrices. Um, just one is matrix equations. Yeah, we could start off with this. Some things from this PowerPoint. Um, some things we need, some things we do not need. So matrices solving systems of equations. So yeah, they talk about me augmented matrix. I don't know if we gonna be dealing with this. No, we don't need these. Um, no, we don't need these.
You want us to write or just.
You could take screenshots for now, but I just looking and see which part of these we need. I just want to, okay, no, so we don't need that. What we need is matrix algebra. And so, um, yeah, matrix algebra. So let's look at this. Hopefully this would be a good, um, yeah, I think this is it. I think this is right up. This is where we could start. We could start with this. So matrix algebra. So as we saw before, matrix is just a convenient way of representing data. And so you may wonder why we have, the 3, 0, -1, 2, 1, 4. This is a convenient way or a simplified way of representing some data. And so matrices could be used in different fields, not just in mathematics, but also especially in computers, computer programming, organizing all types of data sets. Once you have information, you could use matrices to represent that information in shorthand, because this 3 could represent could be meaning something, and this 2 being in this position could mean something. It all depends on the meaning that you attach to it. And so matrices have a lot of uses, not only in mathematics, especially in the world of business, they use matrices, and then also in computer. So a matrix with m rows and n columns has m times n dimensions, and we saw that before. So the rows will go first, and then the columns will go second. So m times n. So in light of that, what is the dimension of this matrix? It's
3 times 2.
Yeah,
3 by 2.
yeah, because we have how much rows? 1, 2, 3
3.
rows. Yeah, 3 rows. And how much columns?
2 columns.
1 column, 2 columns. So we say this is 3 by 2. And so that's what they're saying right there. A matrix with m rows and n columns has m times n dimensions. And they say that the entry in the ith row and the jth column is denoted by aij. All right, and what that basically mean is that, if I were to ask you, what is the entry? And by the way, these numbers are called entries. I don't think I said that. These are called entries, and we represent these entries in a specific way. All right, we use subscripts for them, and when I say subscripts, I mean these little two notations here. They're what you call subscripts, and each one of these numbers it has associated subscript. And so let me show what I mean. Let me just allow this person to come in. And so where we want to be. And so what I mean by that is the following. So um, we would say, if I ask you for the entry that is in the first row, first column.
Mr. Petit,
Yes, ma'am?
I don't need the syllabus no more. I got it.
You got it? Okay, perfect. So this one, which entry is in the first row, first column? First row, first column.
3.
3.
Okay. So it's the first row, first column. So 3. But if I want the entry that is in the first row, second column, what would that be?
2.
2.
2. Very good. Next, I want the entry that is in the first row. Not first row, sorry. I want the entry that's in the second row, but in the first column.
0.
That would be what?
0.
0.
0. Very good. I want the entry that is in the second row, second column.
1.
That'd be 1. What is this one? How would we write this one?
3rd row.
Third
First.
row, first column. Very good. It's -1. And how would we write this one?
3rd row.
3rd row, second column.
is 4. Okay, so this is how, when we say, this is how we represent each entry, Aij. So Aij, where Ij is the subscripts, where I tells us the row, that's why we say the ith row, all right? And then we say the jth column, which means that the I tells us the row and the j tells us the column, okay? And that's how we speak in mathematics. We say ith row and jth column because we're talking about it in general, right? Now here is just specific cases. But when we say ith row, jth column, we said it because it could be any number, all right? The I and the j just represents any number, all right? We just know that the first one is the row and the second one is the column. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, take a screenshot of that if you have written it down so we can move along conveniently.
My God.
Okay, next up is um, next up is, so we know how to write the dimension of a matrix, that's m times n. We know how to state what entry we have, that's using a and I and the ith row and the jth column. And so now let's continue. So the example has 3 rows and 2 columns. We already talked about that. The entries are the following. Yes, we have that. The order of the matrix. Oh, sorry. Okay. The order of the matrix is always given as rows by columns. And in general, this is what we have. I love this. You may ask, Mr. Petit, why do you love seeing it like this? I love seeing it like this is because this is how we write things in general. Okay, so this is saying first row, first column, first row, second column, all the way down to the first row and the nth column. The same thing, second row, first column, all the way down to the mth row, right? And all the way across to the nth column. All right, and so that's how we look at it in general. So these numbers could be anything, but when we have it like this, we're telling you about the general case. All right, so any matrix, right, we could represent using this one, and that's why I like it because it's the general form. And in maths, we always like to put things in the general form. That's what maths is all about, if you ask me. Looking at how things are in general. And so if we know how it is in general, then we could always deal with the specific case. And that's why math is so powerful, because math deals with the general case. All right. So the mathematicians deal with the general case. The engineers deals with the specific case. All right.
So, so what them dotted lines for?
Okay, the dotted lines means, thank you. The dotted lines means I'm continuing up until. Simple as
Oh,
that. Yeah. And so we're saying this first column, first row, first column, first row, second column, all the way up to the first row, the nth column. Second row for first column, all the way down to the mth row and the first column.
wait, the answer row is like the last row. Wait.
Yeah, the mth row is the last row. All right.
Okay.
All right.
And what about the N?
The n is the column.
That's the last column.
Yeah, the n is the column. Yeah. Because remember, the matrix has dimension m times n, where m is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. Okay. All right. So yeah, so that's how this is. This is just the general form. Okay, so this is just talking about the different types of matrices. We call this, what's the dimension on this, by the way? The dimension of matrix M. What do we call it? What's the dimension or the size?
1, 4,
1/4, because it has one row. How much columns? One,
4.
two,
Or
4 columns, right? So we call this a row matrix. Okay. or row vector. This is also a way this is also the way to describe matrices. Someone mic is on. Please mute it once you're not speaking. And then we have a matrix with a single column. It's called a column matrix or column vector. And this one only has one column, but 3 rows. And its dimension is 3 by 1. And then we have a matrix with the same number of rows and the same number of columns. We call that a what type of matrix?
Square.
Square matrix. Once it has the same number of rows and the same number of columns. So give me other examples of square matrix besides 2 by 2.
3 by 3.
3 by 3. Very good. That's a square matrix.
6 by 6.
6 by 6.
5 by 5.
5 by 5.
9 by 9.
9 by 9. Very good. Or we can say M
By M.
M. Okay. And this is what we're really looking at in general. Right? This is what mathematicians look at. If you're preparing to be a mathematician, or you want to think like a mathematician, you always put it in general. Okay. In mathematics, we don't deal with numbers. I mean, we do deal with numbers, but we always try to put it in letters so that we could deal with the general case. Because if you know the general case, you could always put letters in it, and then it could work. I mean, put numbers in it, and it will work. Okay, so 2 matrices are equal. This is very important. We talked about this before, and this is where matrix algebra comes in. 2 matrices are equal if they are of the same order. So that's the first criteria. They have to be of the same order. When we say the same order, what does that mean?
They have to have the same, like it have to both be a 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 or something like that.
Yeah, they have to be the same order. So that their dimensions have to be the same. And they must have corresponding entries. They must be equal. So they must be of the same order, and corresponding entries must be equal. All right, that's the only way the matrices are equal. So the question is are these 2 matrices equal?
Let's put the Google back, please.
Which also.
Right down, is good.
Okay, I get it. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. So the question is, are these 2 matrices equal?
No, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I
Yeah.
think so.
You think so? Okay. Well, the first thing we have to check their order. Okay. So what's the order of this matrix? This one right now. What's the order of it?
2.
How much rows we have?
2 rows
1 row and
2 by 3.
2.
the next row. So
is 3 columns. 2 and
3
3.
columns.
and how much columns we have?
3.
3.
Very good. All right. So that's 2 by 3, like the title said. How about this? How much rows we have?
3.
2.
2 rows and 3 columns.
And 2 rows and 3 columns. So their dimensions are equal. But how about their entries? So
The entries are equal.
okay, well let's see. This one is 2, and so it have to correspond with this guy. What is 3 minus 1?
2.
2.
Okay, so that's good. What else we have? Well, this is 3, and this is 3. This is
4.
4, and this one is also
4.
this is 4, and this one is also 4.
4.
This is 6, and what is 4 plus 2?
6.
6, and this is 2, and this one is also
4.
2. So So their corresponding entries are equal. So therefore, these two matrices are
Equal.
equal. Okay, so two matrices are equal if they are of the same order and if corresponding entries are equal. Now, let's take a look at this one. Are these two matrices equal?
No.
No, sir.
Why not?
Because they are not of the same order.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Let's go for. Okay, let's check the order of this one. What is the order of this one?
2 by 3.
2 by 3.
2 by 3. Sorry, yes, 2 by 3.
2 by 3.
Let me erase it. So the order of this one is 2 by 3 because we have 1 and 2. So 2 by 3, 1, 2, and 3. So 2 by 3. And then the order of this one is what?
3 by 2.
Well, we have 1, 2, 3. Yes, 3 by 2. Okay, and so they are not equal because their order is not the same. Now, if we look at this one, are they equal?
They have the same order, but
They have the same order because this one is 2 by 2.
Okay, no. No.
Say it
but
again.
the entries,
The entries are what?
the corresponding entries, I don't think they equal.
They're not equal.
Which ones are not?
They have the 3 and the 4 in the wrong places.
Yeah. So here we have 2. This corresponds with this 2. So that's fine. But this 3 and this 4, they have a problem, right? And so this 3 and this 4 are not equal. And so that's the problem. And the same thing with this 4 and this 3. There is a major problem right there. Okay, so these two are not equal. But the 6 and the 6 are okay, you know. But the problem is with the 3 and the 4. There's a problem with that. And there's also a problem with the 3 and the 4 again. These are problematic. So that's where we end up having a problem. So corresponding entries are not equal for this one. So that's why we write not equal to. Okay, not equal to. That's what the sign means. Not equal to and equal to. We clear on that? Are we clear on that?
Sir,
Start.
Okay. All right, good stuff. Now, okay, so I don't know, the slide just give away the answers. Let me try to make it a little interesting. I can't give you the answer like that. So let me hide it first so we can see it. All right. If you're watching the recording, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. But for now, you can't see what I do it because the recording just records my entire screen. So um, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing with the recording. All right, so let's go. All right, so let's go. So solve the following. Can y'all see my screen now?
you sure?
Okay, so solve the following matrix equation. Remember, if two matrices are equal, corresponding entries must be equal, and so that means that this one and this one are equal. All right. What is the value of x? What x?
Or
X
And
equals
the 4.
4x.
not 4x. X
or
must be equal to x equals to
4.
4. Very good. What is Z?
3.
Z is what?
3.
Very good. Because they're supposed to be equal. So Z equals to 3. Good. And so we know 2 and 2 is alright. What is Y minus 1 though?
1.
One.
1. So
One.
Y minus 1 must be equal to 1. So solve for Y.
Huh?
Solve for Y. What must Y be?
2 minus 1.
Uh-huh.
Um, you're going to add one to both sides.
Good. So send the 1 to the box. So it becomes what?
Positive
So Y equals to 1
Plus 1.
equals 2.
So Y equals to 2. Okay, and so Y equals to 2, Z equals to 3, and X equals to 4. This is an example of a matrix equation. And this is how we solve a matrix equation using the idea that if two matrices are equal, their corresponding entries must be equal. Any questions?
Also,
Okay.
I have one question. Is there any chance where we're going to, you see where X is there any chance that it's required for us to put, like, do a bracket, like, and put in where all of them are added in as one?
I don't understand your question. Say it again.
Okay, like you have one, column one, row one, column one, right? So it says 1 plus 1. Are we required to put a bracket and say, okay, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 4 is 8, 3 and 3 is 6? Are we required?
Wait, one moment. Wait, my Wi-Fi is gonna go. Give me one moment.
what you say?
My Wi-Fi is gonna go. Give me one moment.
Okay.
I'm surprised it ain't going yet. I don't understand your question though, Nancy. I'm really trying to understand it. What? What do you mean?
Okay, just one.
Say it again.
We can move on then.
No, man, Nancy, don't say that. I need to understand your question. Go ahead. Strange. Oh wow. Go ahead, Nancy. Oh, my Wi-Fi. Yeah, yeah.
We still hear you.
Oh, y'all still can? Oh, I thought it. I thought it. I thought it did. Um, I don't know how long it could stay because it's supposed to be off. Um. Okay. Anyway, go ahead, Nancy. Nancy, ask the question.
I was asking, are we required to do like a second bracket, like as in where we join everything, as in 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 4 is 8, 3 and 3
One plus
is,
one is two. You mean this?
yeah, like are we required
This two?
to,
Oh, you mean
no,
like one and one is two? Oh,
yeah,
oh,
are we
I
required
understand.
to do a bracket like that?
And then do a new one. That's what you're saying.
Is that
No,
my
no, no, no,
question?
no. Because remember, all we're trying to say
So
is,
it's
go ahead.
so we're just solving for the letters
Yeah,
basically.
that's all we're doing. That's all we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Okay. Um, can someone read that for me, please? What does it say?
You mean the top?
Yes, ma'am.
Two matrices of the same order slash dimension can be added or subtracted.
Okay, good. When can we add or subtract matrices? When they are what?
Of the same order?
The same order. Okay. That's the only way we could do it. All right. And so this is saying that the ijth entry of the sum equals to the sum of the ijth entries. Oh, this is a rule. This is a very good rule. Now, if I mean, all I'm trying to say is that if you have a matrix A and a matrix B, and okay, the ith
I could take a picture of the slide before this, please.
before this, okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, the ith entry of the sum equals the sum of the ith entries. No, I ain't picking up what they're saying. I can't. I'm picking up what they're saying. Let's move on. Okay. I do not want the answers. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move the answers so that y'all could get it at these exercises. So,
You just stop sharing it.
um, y'all need to see. Y'all just close your eyes and pretend like y'all didn't see the answer. Okay, good. Okay, do the following exercises. So, exercise 1, 2, and 3. So the first one we're gonna add them. The second one we're gonna subtract them, and the third one we're gonna solve for. We're gonna solve for x, y, and w.
Miss Liberty, you're supposed to be adding the first section.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
it's supposed to be added in the first one. Yeah.
Women, do you want to do it?
Yeah, yeah, do it. Definitely. Can you hear me? That's us. I think we out of the game. Can you also hear me? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, yeah, I don't understand. Okay. Okay, well. Okay, so that's all good. Man, that's not good. Okay, seems we are playing. Okay, Lord, Jesus. I can't even wait because I don't know data. Hey, I come right now. I come right now. I come right now. I come right now. That's sick, right? This thing is so funny. Why? That's strange. Alright. Boy, my humble apologies. Um, but it's a good thing I'm back. Um, I had some complications to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, don't depend on these technologies, boy. I don't understand. They they it's failure at the time you need the most, and so um but we're back. Any answers for the previous ones that we just was dealing with?
Couldn't get the
Yeah, good evening. Did I let Michael in? All right, Michael doesn't. Okay, good. Any answers for them? What do we get? Any answers?
I wasn't young at the time. You wanted us to find
You said huh? You say you say all right?
yeah, but not like in front of the screen at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right. Miss Cooper, any answers from you? Huh?
Uh,
Hold on. You ain't finished?
I got some answers, but I don't know.
Say
So
it
I
again.
just I got some answers. I don't know.
I could barely hear you, you know that.
I got some answers, but I'm not confident. I'm gonna
You're not
try them
confident? Oh my
because they're not corresponding.
They're
So,
not correspond. Oh, interesting. Anyone
so
else?
if they're not corresponding, what am I supposed to do?
You mean they're not corresponding? You mean they're not the same?
Yeah, I like the okay. They have the same. They have the same order, but not the same
Numbers?
entry.
Yeah, that's fine. You add in now.
Oh,
You
oh,
add in.
okay. Well,
Uh-huh.
I have 277
Uh-huh.
as column one. That's row one. So two is 5, 3, -2.
Okay, so you're looking at my screen.
And in my book. Okay, before you pull up the next one, let me tell you my answers. I got 1, 2, 5. That's row one.
Uh-huh.
3, 1, 0
Uh-huh.
is row column two.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, the
Mr.
third
Key.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
cut it, so I have to
For
do that one.
example, one my answers was right, but I wasn't sure about.
Okay, so your answer's right for number one. Okay, so
Yeah.
the way how we do it is very simple. We do um corresponding entry. So 1 plus 1 gives us 2. 3 plus 4 gives us 7. 4 plus 3 gives us 7. -1 plus 6 gives us 5. 2 plus 1 gives us 3. And 0 plus -2 gives us -2. Any questions on this particular question?
No, sir.
So now the next thing is we have to do this one. So the second one we have to subtract. Hmm?
The third one, could you give us an additional 2 minutes because you cut out? So
You mean for the third one or for the second one?
for the third one.
Okay, sure. Okay, so for the second one, it's 1 minus -1. So that's 1 minus -1. No. 1 minus, no, sorry, I'm doing this all wrong. My bad.
1 - 2.
1 minus 2, yes, 1 minus 2. So it's 1 minus 2. And so that's 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2 is -1. That's how we get,
Negative one.
that's how we get a -1 out. Next we have
So we're putting like true or false for the answer, and
say it again.
we're putting true or false for the answer once we find out
Yes.
if they're corresponding.
No. These are what you have to evaluate. So I'm the answer is here, but you didn't know the answer. So what it was is let me show it again. You didn't know the answer. You had to determine what it was.
Okay.
So now we're
Okay.
working it out, but it wasn't always there. Okay. All right. And so the next one is, you understand what I'm saying? One.
Yeah, the answers was hidden.
Yeah. And so you had to figure it out by actually doing the subtraction. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So in the exam they're not gonna give you this third party. At least if they give you the third part, it's probably in a matrix equation. But for subtraction, regular subtraction, they wouldn't give you the third part. You have to determine that by subtracting. So next thing we have is negative 1 minus 3. Okay, so that's negative 1 minus 3. That equals to what?
-4.
Negative 4. That's how we got the negative 4 here. We get the 4 minus negative 1. So 4 minus negative 1. That's equals to 4. Negative and a negative is a positive. 4 plus 1, which is 5. Okay, so it's 5. Then we have 2 minus negative 1. A negative and a negative is a positive. So that's 2 plus 1, which is 3. And we have 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. And we have 0 minus 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay, that's how we get that. All right, now for the matrix equation, any answers?
Yes, sir. But oh gee, that's crazy. Okay. So x, I got x equals 4, y equals 2z.
Okay,
I don't know why. And then the second y equals something different.
so you get x equals to 4.
Uh-huh.
Okay, y equals to,
Um, 2z. And then the other y, I think it's wrong because
and then another y you get what?
I get something different. I got negative x. I think I have to work that out.
Okay,
I have
and
to
what else you
rework
get?
that. I get w is 5,
W is 5,
v as 1.
v as 1.
Yes, sir. That's it. But I can rework the second y to
Okay,
see if it's because it's supposed to have some similarity to the first y. So I can work.
that's what you think? Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else got anything?
I haven't got to that yet.
Let me give you a minute to work for those who are still working on it. Someone mic is on. So let me give you a minute to work on it. 60 seconds to work this one.
Mr. Petite, I think the second one is 2z plus c. I think.
Pardon?
I think the second y could be. This is a. I think it could be z. I mean, uh, 2z minus 1. This is difficult.
Okay. Well,
I
let's.
don't know. I don't know that one.
This one looked interesting, to be honest. What I'll do is I will cover up the first one so that we have space. Um,
Can I take a picture before you cover it, just in case I miss a step or something?
okay, no problem.
Gotta encourage yourself. Okay, you good. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, there we go. So the first thing we notice is that we have x plus x gives us 8. And so that's very important. So x plus x equals 8. And so what is x plus x? Well, that's simply what?
2x
2x, very good. Which equals to 8.
equals to 8. And we divide both sides by 8.
Divide both sides by 2.
I mean by 2.
Yes, sir. Then we get 4.
So x is equal to
4.
4. That's how you got 4, Nancy?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good, Nancy. Very good. All right, now, I'm glad that you saw that. Now, next thing we have is that 2 plus y is z. So 2 plus y equals z. Okay, the next thing we have is negative 1 plus y is x. So negative 1 plus y equals x. But the good thing is that we already know what x is. X is 4, right? Like we already know that x is 4.
So that's how we do it. Like we incorporate the ones you already know.
Yeah.
Shoot.
So negative 1 plus y is actually equal to what?
4.
4. I didn't know that. Sorry.
No. So how are we going to solve for y?
I'm going to try to get y by itself. So we're going to add positive 1 on both sides to get y by itself.
So we're going to send the negative 1 over. So y is equal to 4 plus 1. So y equals to 5. Okay, so x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 5. Okay, so now what else we need? We have negative 2. Negative 2. So let me erase this bottom bar so you can see it properly. Next thing we have is negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 3 equals w. So negative 2 plus negative 3 negative 2 plus negative 3 equals w. And so that means that w is going to be equal to plus and negative. Still negative, so still negative 3 with negative 2. So we have negative 2 and negative 3. Gives us
So
what?
Miss Petite.
positive 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Cooper.
When you're done, you could go back to the set.
When I get done, I can go back to
The slide before this.
what you mean with the subtraction?
Yes, sir.
So w
With that.
equals to negative 5. So w is equal to negative 5.
Positive.
Say it again.
Why isn't it positive?
Because you have you owe $2, you owe $3. Altogether you owe 5.
But I thought when you have a plus sign in between, you automatically add them.
No. You have a plus and a negative. Those two. Put in your calculator if you when in doubt.
Basically, we multiplying the plus and the negative.
Yeah, positive and negative multiply together gives us negative. The bracket means multiply. So
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. The calculator got a negative. I do it by hand, so I didn't. I thought.
Positive and negative is a negative. So positive multiplied by a negative is a negative. And so this is a negative 3, this is a negative 2. Let's give you a negative 5. Okay, next one.
It's close. It's close.
So, oh, that's why you get positive 5. So now we need V. We can say that 3 plus V is W. So 3 plus V is W. So 3 plus V is
in the
W
Canada.
is what? What is W?
5
Negative 5. And so at this point, we're going to send over the.
is 3.
So V equals 2 negative 5 minus 3. So V equals to what?
V equals to
So
negative 2.
that's a negative 5A
Mm-hmm.
or negative 8.
2.
2? But how I get 1
But
though?
before that, why
And,
you going?
and
Why you
Exactly.
going to do the 3 and the veto?
That's what
Where the 3 came from?
that's what I'm saying though. This I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done
I had 1, I think, in all on
that.
way.
I shouldn't have done that. I looking at that like, I'm like, this is not corresponding. Okay, that was a test, okay, just to see if y'all um awake.
Yeah, we contemplating.
It's W.
I know you was wrong from you. Go on say V. I say, wow, this ain't right.
Yeah. W V W. Right? So it's W plus V equals to W. And so there we have it. V is negative 5 plus, sorry, W is negative plus
Plus
V negative 5.
equals.
And so that should be simple. This
You
is the additive identity,
Yeah, you just carry over and then it put it over and it'll be 1.
not 1. This is the additive identity. What's the additive identity?
Hmm?
What number, when you add it to another number, gives you the number itself?
What you mean?
What
Hello.
number?
0.
0. Yeah. Additive
It's a,
identity is 0. Add 0 to any number, you get the original number again.
what?
Yeah. That's what we mean by additive identity. We haven't done that in this
I
class?
probably get 1 because
In kindergarten, eh?
because math is positive. I got 1. Anyhow.
No. Negative 5 and 5 is 0. And so we could. So V is 0. Y is 5. W is negative 5. Mr. Bethel.
Hello.
Yeah, I can't see you on the weekends.
What's the weekend?
The weekend last week. I mean last Sunday. Sunday on.
What happened on Sunday?
I saw you.
I know we had class Sunday.
No class.
we are class Sunday.
No. I mean him. I know he's passed.
Oh, I was waiting on you because I know you don't always be home.
That's true. I said it. I figured he probably wait on me. But,
Go back to the next slide, please.
yeah, next slide, to be honest.
What calculator you recommend, by the way? I still need to buy one.
This recorded, right? So I can't. Okay. I recommend Helix, Oxford, the blue one. I recommend that. Or my first favorite is Casio, but it have to be I'm sure what Casio I mean, because some Casios don't make no sense. It have to be, let's see, Casio calculator. If you get something like this, oh my goodness. If you get something like this, you win. You win big. See what it's able to do? If you get something like this, you win. If you get something
It's
like,
a scientific.
yeah, that's scientific. If you get something like this, it's also good. But this is my first
When
recommendation.
I could find
But I
Cassie,
thought you can't get inside exam.
You can carry scientific calculator exam. You can't carry
where
graphing
that
calculator.
can calculate
I
messages.
yeah, my boy.
Difficulty?
Yes, ma'am.
Where can I find that kind of calculator?
This one, that's a good question.
It's better
That's a
than
big.
so
Yes, sir.
it's better than the Oxford one.
The
It's better
helix,
than
yeah. Can I do that?
say it again.
Oxford. Can I
No,
do that type?
no,
Yeah.
the Oxford can't do it like this. So this
That's
is good.
garbage can.
Yeah,
The
that's
Oxford ain't garbage. The Oxford,
that's why I said
the, the
wait.
Oxford decent, but the Oxford ain't quite like it.
Okay, can I give you the funds to get it for me?
Oh boy, Nancy man, you try to carry all over NASA. I don't know where
That's
it's
the key.
sold. That's the thing. I
In book world sell that or something?
say it again.
Book world.
Probably Book World or something. I don't know where they sell these ones. I don't know. Maybe in the mall. I know they sell these ones. Um, I don't know. I can't like be honest. I don't know where they sell. You could check. You could check the one on top of Hill man.
That's
Um,
book word.
that's Book World. Yeah, check there. More than likely they have those.
Or at the place by town sell mud.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Pendus Mart. Yeah, try those. Try those too.
I don't know where that is. Where?
Pendus Mart. You know what Pendus Mart is?
No, sir.
You live in Freeport or Grand Park? Which one?
That's a personal question.
Pendus Mart. Not Pendus Tile.
That building do look familiar. Where is that located?
No, this is not. I'm not talking about Pendus Tile. Oh man, because it's on. It's in Yellow Villa, man. It's Pendus Mart. Let's say books. Let's see.
That's the one next to the gas station.
Yeah, the one next to the gas station.
Okay.
What gas station?
Okay, see it here. Oh, Deep South Bookstore. That's what it's
Oh,
called. Deep South Bookstore.
Deep South Bookstore. That all the way out.
No man,
That's like that's like passing South Beach.
no man.
no, that by town center
By
mall.
Town Center Mall. Once you in front of Town Center Mall, you'll see it. That's what
So I
Town
can
Center.
call you when I get there.
No, you literally can't miss it. Once you in
So
front of
Mr.
Yeah,
the
like
big.
that's the only building.
yeah, that literally right in front of Town Center Mall.
Hold on, okay. Time to the mall.
Mr. Big.
Time to the mall is where Cost Right is, right?
I
That's
can't.
where Cost Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once you right in front of the house, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know why they ain't showing their how they face look. This is they have an inside the store. They ain't have a picture of the store. But anyway, this is very good. They have a wide selection. Them and Book World, try them to see if you can find the calculator. Um. Okay. Yeah. Someone is asking a question.
What all the features the Casio have than the Oxford?
The only noticeable one that I could say is the fact that it could actually um do fractions, as well as you could clearly see it. Um, Helix could do that too, but it's small. So let me show you the Helix calculator that I use. I got an A with it. I thought that calculator was the best until my friend pulled out hers and she had a Casio and that was
Which one, the second one?
this one. This one that I
Oh.
use. I had this in school. I
Who
got
don't have the Mr. Big?
who don't have
I want to call. I want
I don't
yeah,
have none.
you.
yeah, this one I got an A using this. But I thought that this was the best one until, like I said, I saw the Casio. And the Casio, let me tell you, the Casio is the one this year. The Casio is even better than the graphing calculator for some things. Very good calculator. This one too, same thing. This thing even clock on the integrals.
You didn't call. Did you end up using it?
Say it again.
Did you personally end up using Casio?
Yeah, I had to use calculator. I didn't buy it. I just use it. Like say borrow it for some months. I don't remember buying it.
Okay, so but you had experience with it. That's why I
Mm-hmm,
couldn't.
mm-hmm. I've had experience using this. Good calculator. Good calculator. Um, okay. Next up with matrices. So hopefully you understand how to do that. Um, what are we gonna do next?
What's
uh,
You can go back on the place.
T?
one moment.
To go back to the slide before that.
I just want to see what in this thing before I do it. Okay. This I keep out this one anyway. Solve the following matrix equation. Okay, you take this down and do this for homework.
Okay. Just want to let you know it's 7:30 because I said
You go back, Mr. Petit.
do an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah, no problem. I get you.
You could do the slide before the one you'll do.
Yeah, no problem. I can. Let me just move this. Okay, so this is the fall. This is the one before.
Thank you.
You go next one.
Okay, this is what we did. Yeah, this is what we just finished doing.
Any other ones?
Yes, the one that I said to homework. All right. Okay, good. So I think we got it. Um, like I said, matrices could be used to do a lot of things. In this case, in this case,
You just click back in.
for real. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so y'all saw this.
Those are always on the slide.
I was saying do this on homework.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Pretty.
Okay.
Not to rush you or anything, but you said we were doing 2 hours of English.
I did.
Are we still doing 2 hours of English?
We have to. I mean, as long as y'all do.
Mm, because it's only 7:30.
It get cut short.
Okay.
Petit, are you willing?
Say well then. Okay. All right. Yeah, we can go until 9:30. Um, but do you Nancy, you know what Holy Trinity is, right?
You said we don't class segmented.
Yeah. You know what Holy Trinity is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy who?
Well, though.
Holy
Still bring
Trinity.
out it.
Holy Trinity, where your exam is going to be held.
I'll look around for it tomorrow.
All right then. All right then. Okay. Look around then.
After I after I come from work.
You're funny. Nancy, do you know where Holy Trinity is?
My sister's taking
Now
it.
I
She
going to
knows.
work with you.
Say it again.
My sister's taking me, so
Okay.
I think she knows. She tell me she knows. So
All right.
yeah.
Don't get lost.
I would say, Cooper say don't get lost. All right. So let's move on. So um, let's gonna start
I'll get out like and start walking.
with. All right. So I want to start off with a few tips for tomorrow for those who don't listening. Um, some of these would be um, just basics, and then some of them would be more niche. But I think that um, I think that it's important to have a discussion on it, especially since y'all doing listening tomorrow. Um,
How much people are actually doing the listening?
How you
that's
doing it?
probably about five of y'all. I know Bethel, Alicia, Nancy, Juan, and Ricardo. I think five. I can't think of no one else. Um, so with the listening exam, the reason why it could be hard, right? And this for me. This is why it was hard for me when I was doing it. Um, is that they talk hard, they talk so fast, right? Um, so I say that because um, when you are listening, especially listening, when you're doing listening comprehension, it's not like they are dictating to you. You know, like when the teacher dictate, they could say, they'll say, um, Emancipation Day started at May 18th, and then they would pause. They'll wait for you to write it, and then they'll say, and then something, 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 and then they pause and they wait for you to write it. Not so with listening comprehension. Listening comprehension, they are rolling, all right? And so they speak as if you're in a conversation. In a conversation, we don't stop for no one to write or to to say, oh, I can take notes. No, it just flows. And so that's gonna be one of your challenges tomorrow. Learning how to take notes quickly, even when the person is talking fast. All right.
Because if it
Yes, sir.
why you do that to me, man?
What happened,
You
Jordan?
say this we gotta learn tomorrow. It's like, oh, we got a next date. It's like, oh, shucks. The exam is tomorrow. Of course, we gotta
Exactly.
learn.
Exactly.
What you do make it seem like we had like a next day.
Yeah, that's you gotta learn fast. Um, I mean, I don't think y'all have a big problem with dialects. Um, Sometimes for the listening comprehension, they do try to include like Bahamian conversation, so they could try to be like, yeah, boy, or it depends. If it's like an advertisement, they might try to be more conversational, try to make it sound exciting. Or if it's like a news program that they're trying to mimic in, then it would be good because they will try to be more formal. So you dialects maybe there, but more than likely they can try to choose a Bahamian to someone with a Bahamian um accent to read it. They don't normally deviate from that, at least from the ones that I've done. Um, and so if you tend to understand how regular people talk in the society, you should be okay. Um, but just listen properly because depending on how the person sound, and also depending on, oh my goodness, I hope they don't do this to y'all. But depending on how loud the radio is or whatever it is they're using,
Or the
um,
echo.
yeah, you have to be listening. You know what I mean? So listen carefully. All right. Um. So another reason why it's also hard is because it is a skill that you have to practice a lot doing. And so, um, if you haven't had much practice listening and taking notes while people are like talking regularly, it's gonna be difficult. It's really gonna, it's gonna,
What do they call that?
what, lack of practice?
No, that job
What?
where people just do that.
System.
It's not a job. I mean, it's
No, like and taking the minutes then.
oh, secretary. You mean secretaries take minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, secretaries do it. Um, in the court, people they do that. I can't remember the name. They just be they just be fast, man. They just be like they just rolling while the person is talking. They just
Oh, Mr. PD, you know they have a special typewriter for that,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I can't remember that name.
but they have like a special typewriter for that.
Oh, you mean? Oh,
Yeah, like you see how he's doing in matrices just now.
yeah.
It's something like that. A typewriter, something like that.
Okay.
And like the words, like combinations,
Hmm.
could make words.
Ah, um. So, an next reason why it could be hard is bad tech. Now we talk about that. We talk a little bit about that. That's like if the technology is not um good, it can make it extra hard to listen.
Hold on, we could get headphones.
No. Listen for you. This is
Oh,
just general. No.
because I said that would be smart. Like everyone get their own headphones, make sure it work, and then we ain't got no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be good. Too bad we ain't have it. And how much you all sitting at exam again tomorrow? Yeah, I don't think they go. I
Me?
mean,
Like 5 of them.
I mean in general, there's gonna be a lot of them.
I
100
know,
plus?
like
I know. Like
private candidate.
100
Wait, so
probably.
so that means y'all could meet up then, Miss Floyd, Mr. Floyd, Ricardo, Nancy, and Alicia. Um,
They ain't in school.
they're not in school. All y'all are private candidates, so all y'all should meet right at that hall. If y'all see each other, don't pretend like y'all
Oh,
don't.
I thought they was in school.
Mm-mm. Don't pretend like you don't know each other now. Don't pretend like
They
you
ain't know I look.
Uh-uh.
don't pretend.
No, I think the virtual thing works for us. I think we want to see each other face to face.
No. Y'all gonna see each other.
Yeah,
Um,
I too shy for that.
never,
I
never.
can't with my mouth.
I know true. I
Nancy
believe
after
that. I believe that. Um, okay.
Like, hey, Nancy. They no, geez, no, geez, I can feel
No,
embarrassed.
I'd walk away.
Yeah, that's just.
See, I didn't predict what happened.
Oh my, y'all can get to know each other. All right. Okay, so, but Nancy, I'm ready. I've had a profile picture up like 102 times, so you should be able to know from that. Um, Mr. Bethel, well, I don't, he don't have his profile. He's have cartoons on his profile picture. So,
That's not true. My profile.
um, okay, so, what else we have here that's important? Oh, just to say practice, and that's important. Practice active, deliberate listening. Um, what that basically means is that when you listen, be deliberate about it. Yeah.
Elaborate.
Yeah. So, one moment. Like, what I mean by being deliberate, you don't want to passively listen. You don't want to just listen casually, right? So, like letting the words go through one ear and come up through the next. You want to be deliberate about listen. Listen carefully. Like, listen to try to catch um, details, right? So specific details would be like you want to know the setting, right?
Oh, I think I get. So we basically listening like someone telling us gossip.
Yeah, something like that. Like so, for example, if you wanna common things you wanna know, like the setting. When I say setting, you wanna know the location of of the event, right? You wanna know not just the location but the time. So when I say time, I'm not just talking about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I'm actually talking about the year, like what year this was. I'm actually talking about like what is the like if they given a story like what is the political climate, what is the social climate, what is the time period, you know what I mean? of the thing that they're talking about. Because what that will do, that also help you to, so if they talking about, say, if they're talking about, say, something that happened in the say in the 70s, in the 60s, and then that, okay, but during that time, well, if it's the early 70s, we wasn't a independent nation, so we were still dealing with issues like racism. We still was dealing issues with you know the whites and them over the
Mr.
black,
T,
and so yes, sir.
I failed this. I failed
You ain't
this.
fail.
You won't believe as you was talking, my mind was so far in there. Word you just I ain't gonna lie. Wow, I
You need to
failed it.
listen. That's the problem. Um, so you wanna also when you so you wanna think. So, and you also wanna think about um questions that they're gonna ask you beforehand. So um um so prepare yourself for that. So like I said, number one, setting deals not only with literal location but also climate, political climate, social issues involved. All these will help you to answer the questions better. Okay. You also want to have a good look of the characters. All right. Um, um, as if they're giving you like a story, because they might also give you like a news article, a report, an advertisement, something like that. So it depends on what they give you. But if they give you something like it would involve characters, get to know the characters, get to know their name. Oh, please don't forget the person's name, and don't mix up characters. All right. Um, get to know
But
their
what
name. Go ahead.
what if
Yeah,
they like try to make you remember like seemingly important things, but then don't touch on them? You know?
I understand. I understand what you mean
Yeah.
because that's one of the things that I was reading where they could they could exaggerate one point but then give you a low blow. And so it's only so much you could do. And let's be honest, it's only so much you could actually take. So some questions you might not be able to answer, and that's fine because it's called listening exam. Like it's only so much you could answer. But the key is you're trying to answer as many questions as you can. All right. So if you want to answer one or two, don't feel bad. Don't leave it blank. Give it a guess. Put something now. But um, but if they give you a low ball, then they give you a low ball. You can't expect everything. You can't expect the world. So you just try to. Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of listening and making expressive points, how do you identify their personal traits, like character traits, like
Okay. How do you
when
identify?
they're
Go
speaking,
ahead.
like yeah, if they're having a conversation, how would I automatically pick up the characters they possess? You
Oh,
know,
that's easy. We do that all the time in real life, right? You know if someone is sassy automatically. The tone in which they speak is going to help you too. That's why listening is so important. The tone in which they speak, right, is going to help you understand their character. So if someone is benevolent, if someone is kind, if someone is generous, if someone is sympathetic, if someone is angry, you can know by the tone. Like it doesn't take long for you to identify a tone, right? We've been doing it all our lives. That's why we can tell
so
when
tone would
someone,
be like in the sound,
yeah, the
basically
tone,
how the person
how
sound
they
or
sound,
word.
yes, how they sound. Not just what they say, not just what they say, but how they say it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so you have to be listening for that tone. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And you have to be listening to also um, how a person how a person speaks. So, for example, um, they may be trying to say that the character is intelligent, and so if they're trying to portray a character as intelligent, obviously they're gonna include instances where the character use big words or where the character um you know speaks more fluently than the rest. And so those are some of the clues that they would give if they're trying to portray someone as intelligent. If they're trying to portray someone as slow, then obviously they would have the person mumbling, saying a lot. Um having a lot of pauses, you know what I mean, pregnant pauses inside their speech. And so you have to listen to the tone, you have to listen to enunciation, you have to listen to their diction, which words they use at specific times, um, to really get a feel of it. Now I say this, but
You say
I didn't say a lot. I know I say a lot. And I just did it again. Um, uh,
It's just a filler word.
it's a filler word, but you know, if you use it too much, then it comes across as you don't know what to do. You know what you're saying. All right.
Exactly. Also, it can be like a habit for people
It could be a habit for people as
because
well.
I have a habit of saying like about 5 times in one sentence.
Yeah, like yeah. So that's
that's
one.
true.
So this what they're saying is that too many learners fail into the passive listening trap. They believe that playing something in their target language, like radio, music, or while they're doing something, helps them to improve listening comprehension. So you don't want to passively listen, right? You don't want to just um when I say passively listen, that's one thing you don't want to do on this exam. You don't want to listen casually. Like blank your mind. Don't think about Little Caesars. You're not thinking about Sammy's chicken. You're thinking solely about what's coming out of the person's mouth. All right? And you're trying to retain it. You know what I mean? As much as possible. Um, I like this one. Repeat what you hear after the speaker. This is a very good um it's a very good
You
trick.
sure that's not a double-edged sword?
It can be, it can be, it can be, it can be. But um it can also work too. Um I also like this one, writing out words or phrases. Um and I would add use um shorthand writing. Right? So use shorthand note taking. The reason why I say that is because um you can't write a book, man. You know, you have to be shorthand about things and you have to be quick, right? Um and so and don't be afraid to write, man. Like, don't be afraid to write. Um when I can be honest, when I was doing listening comprehension, oh, when I was doing listening comprehension, this I do not advise this, right? But I used to write everything, everything. So by the time that listening comprehension pass is over, I had so much information, like it was crazy.
I was thinking of that.
I used to write. Once my mind could write it fast enough, I was moving with it. Um, and that's why I didn't take none for granted, nothing for granted. And so you have to because this how I look at it. Once they finish speaking, the only thing you have is what you have written down, you know. So you have to make sure you have something written down. I would see students, they just they just there, just listening, and they would take some type of notes, or don't don't only don't only answer what they say. Um, don't only answer what they tell you to take notes on. The notes taken is only a guide, right? And even sometimes it's ask you questions that they didn't ask you to take notes on. Um, write down as much as you can. That's what I advise. Write down as much as you can. If they have something in the notes, make sure you for sure get that down, but write down as much as you can. That's what I'd say. Let me say dictionary. We ain't talking about that. Oh no, we need that. Mm, listen extensively. Barrier. No, we don't need that. No, we don't need that.
Mr. Petit, Lydian, is it okay if you could pull up like a BGC listening past paper? I'm gonna show you an issue, like something
Yeah,
I.
we go into that.
Okay.
I just wanna do um a general thoughts before I actually get into the paper. What else is important? Okay, so make good use of your time. They said read and understand questions. This don't really and highlight and circle keywords. Um, this is when they give you the opportunity to look at the questions. Um, when that happen, you want to highlight and circle keywords. Um, Okay, they have. Mm,
I have a question, Mr. Petit. Okay, let's say they pronounce something, right? Or a word, you know the word, but you
all right.
can't spell it because time, like, no, I've been honest with you, these are my issues sometimes, and they dictate, and I know the word, but like,
Don't spend much time on spelling.
I
Just just
can't.
just
What's
spell
what
it.
do I do?
Spell it the way how you could understand it, and then you will have enough time to be able to
Think about it.
to think about it. So just if it's like for example conscious, right? So for example, the person say consciousness. So let's say for example consciousness, and you say I can't remember how to spell consciousness, and you say you know what, let me just put con us ness. You know what I mean? That's not the right way of spelling consciousness, but you know, at least you know, okay, this is my consciousness. You know what I mean?
I would know all of that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so you'll be able to correct it later. Okay.
I think my hubris would come to stab me in the back during this exam.
Oh, okay then. Keep it up.
I can't control it, dude. That's the thing.
As they always say.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, because that was one of my big
No
concerns.
man, go back to that and don't worry about it. Remember, you're just taking quick, fast notes. You know what I mean? And then after that, you go back to it and iron things out. Uh, so let's see. I want language. Okay, good. So I think 2018 have an audio file. So I heard. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, track 7, track. Why does it have so
Yeah,
much
I've been
information?
listening to this.
Why does it have
You
so
gotta
much
listen to this
information?
about the
About the
donkeys.
donkey.
Yeah, the
Why?
donkeys. Any not
What?
it's
Y'all rolling now?
it's
Wow, I
small,
didn't even know about this.
small and great, small and big. Something Inagua is it Inagua? I think so.
Okay. All right. So let's listen there and go over that. Let's do actual listening now. Then. Let's do a little more, and then answer the questions based on what the exam say. Okay. So okay. Wild donkeys. Okay. So let's do it. So don't open the book, of course. The recording will be played twice. So we only have two
The first
two.
recording we're just gonna listen.
So the first playing, listen carefully. Um, you cannot look at the note section or the questions during the first playing. This is just to gain a general impression of what is being said. Don't mind them during this one, take mental notes. Now I wonder if they allow you to write anything during this time.
No.
If you listen to the first one,
No, not on the
Yeah, I
first
don't
one.
think
We
so.
just did this in class today.
do not look at the note section.
Not even on your hand?
That's what I'm saying. If they allow you to write anything at all.
So we get red on hand.
No, not until the second
No, not
plan.
until the first playing is over. So the first playing, you just listen. After the first playing, then you are able to go to the notes section, read through the points, and make as many notes as you want to make. All right. So I think during this time, what you should do is you should listen carefully. And what you should do, in my honest opinion, is that after you finish listening to this first playing, even before you go to the notes section, try to regurgitate everything you could remember. All right. And then of course answer the questions on the notes section. Right. So not only focus on the questions that they ask you in the notes section, not only do that, but also focus on um, anything that you could remember doing. All right. Or remember hearing. And then the second playing, um, listen again to the recording. You may make additional notes on as you listen. After the second playing is complete, complete your note taking. Within 3 minutes, you'll be allowed a total of 45 minutes to complete your answer to part two of the test. Answer all questions. So after you finish listening, after the first recording is has stopped, you would have 3 minutes to do some note taking. After 3 minutes is over, you listen to the second playing. During that time, you could make any notes, and then um, listen again. You can make you can make additional notes as you listen. Then after the second playing, you complete your note taking without 3 minutes, and then you'll be allowed a total of 45 minutes to complete your answers about two. Okay. All right then. So let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. So prepare yourselves. Let's try.
Number one.
Say it again.
I think number one is like a classmate.
Number one.
Number one of the question.
You gotta be like, you know the questions,
Yeah, you
say.
gotta play like you ain't know that. All right. I'll also take part in in actually doing it. So the good thing is I've never done this question before, so um I'll try to use my notes as much as possible. Um the notes that I take actually while actually doing it, just to give you all a feel as well as a feel of what or how I would take the notes while doing it. Okay, so get a pen, paper, and let's work together with this. Remember the first playing, you can't take no notes. All right. So during the first playing, I won't take no notes either. Then we'll have 3 minutes. Let me get the time out to um to take as many notes as we can. So we need 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
We can't take notes until the second one, right?
Um, you can't take no notes until the after. So after the first playing, then you can take the notes, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know. All right. So
So what happened if you go there with a headache?
I'm sorry for you.
Oh goodness.
I'm sorry.
He just came up with the negative.
I know,
Please, we
right?
all trying to
Oh
stay
goodness.
positive. We trying to pass.
I know,
Please,
right?
stop it. Don't do that.
Why does thing say 12 minutes though?
Because they break apart in sections, like each
That's not
section.
confusing. So all these is a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
To
you
me, it looked like they extract this off a CD. This out a CD. It's
Uh,
play continually, but if you
yeah.
extract it, it come out like this.
I know, but this is pretty long. We only could do one
No,
minute.
I
It's,
mean
It's
only
long.
like 1 minute a piece, so like
A long.
16.
I know. I 1 minute a piece. One of these things 12 minutes.
that's the actual thing.
I think 12 minutes. I mean,
That's the actual story. You know, before the days were like they tell you the rules and instructions. You know how they read all
Oh
that.
yeah,
oh, okay, 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 okay.
okay. The
Okay.
12 minutes one only one we need 10.
Only really one.
Where's listening? So basically, they read everything to you.
So what is this? What is this 38 thing? What is that?
Because remember, you only have 45. When you was reading
I
this, you
have
only
the
have 45.
second playing of the recording.
Yeah, you only have the 45-second time. So like, remember when they tell you your time is up? Like how they tell you your time up on the CD?
So
Y'all
that's
know?
the timer then.
Yeah, basically, because
Oh,
remember they just put it in the CD and automatically they just watching you. So basically, you're
oh,
basically following instructions given
okay.
on the
I
disc.
see. I see. I see. I see. Okay, so we'll do it. I just don't want. I just didn't want to be. One moment.
Nancy, that's a that's the most confidence I ever heard you in a while.
No, you see, I had to Google these things so I could know when she when I get to the exam. You know, I had to know the
Format.
little things too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the format. That's fine. All right, so let's play it. I hope y'all could hear it while it's playing on my laptop. Let me see if that works. So
Your
let's see.
volume all the way up, right?
It is all the way up, but I wonder if audio is played with it. Let me see. Let's see. Y'all could hear that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
A little bit.
I'll
Yeah,
be perfect.
yeah, I can hear it. Let me turn this up. Yeah,
It's how it sounds.
It
sounds
It
sounds
good.
good.
sounds just like how it would sound in exam. Kind of scratchy, but audible.
Oh my goodness, when you can
I
stop?
know that exact feeling because we just do one of these in class, and that's exactly how it sounds.
Okay.
Scratchy, but you
All
could hear
right.
it.
All right, so make sure you're not writing at this time, just listening, all right? All right, so um let's begin.
Skip the music.
Ministry of Education National Examination, Bahamas General Certificate of Secondary Education, English Language. Paper 2, Oral Comprehension, Wednesday, 18th April, 2018, 9 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. Instructions to candidates. Do not open this booklet until you are told to do so. Write your school number, candidate number, surname, and initials in the spaces provided on the booklet.
It's the way you sound. I like an examiner.
The recording will be played twice. First playing. Listen carefully to the first playing to gain a general impression of what is being said. Do not look at the notes section or the questions during the first playing. After the first playing, turn to the notes section of the paper. Read through the suggested points. Make any notes you wish on the points listed. Your notes will not be marked. You will have 3 minutes. Second playing. Listen again to the recording. You may make additional notes as you listen. After the second playing, complete your note making. You will have 3 minutes. You will be allowed a total of 45 minutes to complete your answers to part 2 of the test. Information for candidates. The number of marks available for each question or part question is shown in brackets. Dictionaries are not permitted. Part 1. The recording will be played twice. Listen carefully to the first playing to gain a general impression of what is being said. Listen to the recording of a woman called Jessica conversing with a friend, Henry, on the topic of the wild donkeys of Inagua. After the first playing, make some detailed notes on the points listed on pages 2, 3, 4, and 5 of your test booklet. Remember that you will need these notes in the second part of the test. Therefore, make them as full and as accurate as you can. Listen carefully.
So this is the first reading. Make sure you're not writing or taking any notes during this time. Just listening to the passage.
Don't let him go, me donkey want water.
Hold him, Joe.
Better hide your daughter.
Hold him, Joe.
When me donkey want water.
Hold him, Joe.
He went round the corner.
Hold him, Joe.
Hello?
Henry, stranger, how you doing?
Jessica? Who are you calling stranger? Girl, you must be talking about yourself. So what's up? I wonder what you need from me. 'Cause that's the only reason why my favorite schoolie ever calls me.
Now listen here. I'd hang up the phone on you if I didn't need you to do me a favor. You know how children can drive you crazy? Well, Charmaine just told me tonight that she has a long project, 400 words, due tomorrow on the wild donkeys of Inagua. And our internet is down, so there you are, living in Great Inagua. Plus, you work for the Bahamas National Trust, so please give me some information.
Sounds like this is one of those projects that parents end up doing. I guess you tossed out your encyclopedia. And where's Charmaine?
Those huge books? Man, they took up too much space. And she's a little sick. You know, I don't spoil her. She'd be calling you herself if she wasn't feeling bad. I'm going to get her up after I get the information.
Yeah, you always fell for the sob stories, but anything for Charmaine. What do you need to know? There's so much I can say about Inagua. It's the southernmost Bahamian island, and it's closer to Cuba than it is to the rest of the Bahamas. Inagua is actually made up of two islands, Great Inagua and Little Inagua. Inagua is the best kept secret in the Bahamas.
I know you love those rocks, but I need to know more about the donkeys.
I can catch a hint. Okay. Although the number has decreased, and that's something we conservationists are alarmed at, there are still many wild donkeys on both islands. I see them every day on Great Inagua, which is 600 square miles. However, Little Inagua, which is 30 square miles, is completely uninhabited except for herds of wild donkeys and goats. And in the evenings, the donkeys and goats head into the sea to escape the large number of mosquitoes that live there.
The mosquitoes are that bad on Little Inagua? I won't be visiting there anytime soon. Tell me, how do the Inagua donkeys look?
They look like the typical donkey. They have that familiar dun color, D-U-N, which is brownish gray, and some other shades. Some of them have dark ear marks, as well as a white nose and white rings around the eyes, and a white belly and inner legs.
Charmaine told me that donkeys are related to horses. I can see that.
So she did do a little something, yes. They look alike, but there are some differences. Horses have hooves that are hard. A donkey's hooves are more flexible. Horses and donkeys have manes, you know, that hair growing on the neck. But while a horse's mane is usually thick, soft, and long, a donkey will typically have a thin, stiff, bristly mane that seldom gets long enough to hang down the neck. Their mane will remain standing up. Ha!
That's a good one, especially for you. Now, what about the ears?
Donkeys obviously have large ears, and they're designed to cool them in hot weather. Horses' ears are way smaller, and the tail of a horse is like a short stub, with long hair growing out of it from top to bottom. Donkeys, on the other hand, have long tails, with short hair at the bottom only.
Horses' tails short with long hair, donkeys' tails long with short hair.
You've got it. There's more. First, a donkey's coat, you know, the hairy skin that covers its body, is rougher than a horse's coat and has air pockets between the hairs. It's designed in this way for protection from extreme heat, because donkeys are desert creatures. They originated in the African desert. Horses have a smooth coat and a protective undercoat, but donkeys don't, so when it's rainy and wet, they could get ill. Second, a donkey's head is larger in proportion to its body than a horse's head.
You store all of this information in your large head?
I choose to ignore that. Just make sure you keep it in yours.
I'm recording this. Now, what about their voice?
Well, donkeys don't live in herds like horses and ponies do, and that's probably why they've developed their very loud, raspy voices, which can carry just over 3 kilometers, which is about 2 miles. You can't forget the braying sound, and it can go on for 20 seconds. Ee-aw, ee-aw. You should hear the ones who live over here in Inagua.
Henry, remember Miss Wilson, our high school biology teacher? She had a voice just like that. We used to call her Eeyore behind her back, as in Eeyore the donkey from Winnie the Pooh.
Miss Eeyore. Anyway, that loud call or bray of the donkey may have helped it to keep in contact with other donkeys over the wide spaces of the desert. And remember, donkeys have large ears, which may pick up the calls of other donkeys in the distance.
So they communicate like that?
You could say so.
And how in the dickens did donkeys get all the way from the desert to Inagua in the Bahamas?
Well, Bahamians know that Spain and England built colonies in the Bahamas, but some don't know about France. Donkeys were taken to France and other European countries from Africa. Then, when France built colonies in the Bahamas in the 16th century, in Abaco and Inagua, they brought donkeys here as livestock.
And what made or makes donkeys good farm animals?
Donkeys are healthy creatures. They often live for 25 or more years. In prosperous countries, they may have a lifespan of 30 to 50 years. Some have been recorded as living to the ripe old age of 60. Also, although no one's riding the wild donkeys in Inagua, you can ride donkeys just like horses, with saddles and harnesses being used. Although donkeys are more laid back and prefer to go at a pace that is good for the donkey, which is not always what people think is best.
I've heard they kick hard.
If they have to. But donkeys are generally very friendly, affectionate, patient, and dependable. Once a person has earned their confidence, they can be great companions, and their nature makes them excellent for children or disabled persons to ride, especially since donkeys don't like to gallop. Galloping is usually not on the program. Donkeys have a notorious reputation for stubbornness. They will freeze rather than run away, and maybe that's why they're called stubborn. It's difficult to force or frighten a donkey into doing something it thinks it's dangerous.
Yeah, maybe that's why some of my friends say I'm as stubborn as a donkey.
Are you as valuable as a donkey? In many developing countries, a donkey is a person's most prized possession. People use them to pull loads and carts on farms or at mills and at wells. In Inagua, donkeys were once used to carry salt to the boats for shipment to the mainland. When cars and trucks replaced donkey transport, the animals were released into the wild.
Do donkeys get along with other animals?
Dogs and donkeys usually don't mix, and we see that in Great Inagua, although they can be trained to leave the house or farm dog alone. But donkeys have a calming effect on horses. Once a donkey has bonded with a herd of horses, it will protect them against canine predators, such as dogs. It lies with the animals at night, and if it hears any strange noises, it will warn the herd, chase the predator, and trample it if it can. Donkeys defend themselves by biting, striking with the front hooves, or kicking with the hind legs. You should see the Inagua donkeys in action.
Shamin wants to know a little about how donkeys reproduce.
Let's see. A genet, which is a female donkey, is normally pregnant for about 12 months and usually gives birth to a single foal. And donkeys can interbreed with horses. A mule is the cross between a jack, which is a male donkey, and a mare, which is a female horse. And not many people know that donkey's milk was once valued as a medicine and was given to premature babies and sick children, and to people suffering from tuberculosis. People still drink it. For example, I read on the internet that more than 50% of the donkey milk produced at this farm in Italy is sold to pediatric hospitals for children who are allergic to cow's milk. Donkey's milk contains more protein than cow's milk and less fat.
Really? Bottle some of that milk and bring it to Nassau for me.
As long as you don't ask me for some of that good donkey meat.
I've heard stories of people who hunt the donkey. The people in the South like meat that much?
Watch it now. I'm a southerner.
Sorry, man. Don't be so sensitive. I was only joking. But I understand why that could be a sore spot. Because I remember reading in the Tribune that the Inagua wild donkeys are in danger of being hunted to extinction. Sad.
Yes, it hurts me that people are destroying an important part of Inagua's culture. Local people have been hunting the donkeys that live on Great Inagua because they do things like wander onto the runway and prevent airplanes from landing, block the roads, and eat crops. And with their parents gone, the parentless foals are left to die. So donkeys are on the decline in Inagua. The donkeys need formal protection, need to be on the Wild Animals Protection Act, which is what the National Trust is seeking to get from the Bahamian government.
I hope you get it. Just listening to you has me concerned. Henry, thanks so much for your time, man. I'm going to get Charmaine up now.
No problem. Give her a kiss for me and tell her this joke. What do donkeys send out at Christmas time?
I don't know what.
Yuletide greetings. Get it? Yuletide? Yuletide?
Henry, go home.
Hold him,
You
Joe.
better hide your daughter.
Hold him, Joe.
When me donkey want water,
Hold him, Joe.
he went round the corner.
Hold him, Joe.
Part 1. Turn to page 2 of your test booklet. You now have 3 minutes to make notes on the 8 points listed on pages 2, 3, 4, and 5 of the booklet.
So you have 3 minutes to write some details about, so you can look at the notes section. I'm gonna turn the screen now. And you have 3 minutes to answer the questions based on the notes. And so I'll put the time up and then put the note section now. Details about Henry given at the beginning of the conversation. Details about Henry and Jessica's relationship. Specific information about Inagua that Henry shares with Jessica. Details about the donkey's appearance, the horses, details about the donkey's voice, how human beings benefit from donkeys, details about the possible extinction of the wild donkeys in Inagua, and methods and techniques used in the recording to keep Jessica and Henry's conversation interesting and entertaining. All right. Those are the 8 points to mention. All right.
You could scroll down, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I get number 2, please.
You could go to number 4. Number 4 or 5.
We writing them down first? Or?
No.
Writing this question notes.
Just write the notes.
Is that all the question, Mr. Petit?
No. Number 4 is details
writing down notes that quick?
Hey, Mr. Petit, what you doing? You just writing the questions.
I just write down notes on it.
Can I get number 5?
Wow.
3, modifier.
Right. Okay.
I was saying they need number 3 question, but alright.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's move to the second reading.
The recording will now be played again. Complete your notes as you listen.
What I would want you all to do, this is what I'll do. I'll put this inside the chat so that you will all have an opportunity to look at the notes on your own, so you won't have to depend on what I have on the screen. So pull this up so that you could have it open while we go through it the second time. All right. So let me know when you're ready to pull it up. Okay.
I got it.
So use the link that I put in the group and
I'm ready.
you ready? Okay, good. Use the notes that I put. Use the link that I put.
We could write while it go right this time.
Right this time you could write it.
Okay.
Okay. Remember this is the last time you'll be hearing this reading this thing. So make sure to take as much notes as you possibly can. All right. So let me know when you're ready. If you're ready, have it pulled up. Remember this time you could also look at the so this part. You cannot look at part 2 though. You cannot look at the questions. Only thing you have is the notes. All right, so let's go. All right, so let's begin.
Don't let him go, me donkey want water.
Hold him down.
Better hide your daughter.
Hold him
When me
down.
donkey want water.
Hold him down.
He went round the corner.
Hold him down.
Hello?
Henry, stranger, how you doing?
Jessica? Who you calling stranger? Girl, you must be talking about yourself. So what's up? I wonder what you need from me, 'cause that's the only reason why my favorite schoolie ever calls me.
Now listen here. I'd hang up the phone on you if I didn't need you to do me a favor. You know how children can drive you crazy? Well, Charmaine just told me tonight that she has a long project, 400 words, due tomorrow on the wild donkeys of Inagua. And our internet is down, so there you are, living in Great Inagua. Plus you work for the Bahamas National Trust, so please give me some information.
Sounds like this is one of those projects that parents end up doing. I guess you tossed out your encyclopedia. And where's Charmaine?
Those huge books? Man, they took up too much space. And she's a little sick. You know, I don't spoil her. She'd be calling you herself if she wasn't feeling bad. I'm going to get her up after I get the information.
Yeah, you always fell for the sob stories, but anything for Charmaine. What do you need to know? There's so much I can say about Inagua. It's the southernmost Bahamian island, and it's closer to Cuba than it is to the rest of the Bahamas. Inagua is actually made up of 2 islands, Great Inagua and Little Inagua. Inagua is the best kept secret in the Bahamas.
I know you love those rocks, but I need to know more about the donkeys.
I can catch a hint. Okay. Although the number has decreased, and that's something we conservationists are alarmed at, there are still many wild donkeys on both islands. I see them every day on Great Inagua, which is 600 square miles. However, Little Inagua, which is 30 square miles, is completely uninhabited except for herds of wild donkeys and goats. And in the evenings, the donkeys and goats head into the sea to escape the large number of mosquitoes that live there.
The mosquitoes are that bad on Little Inagua? I won't be visiting there anytime soon. Tell me, how do the Inagua donkeys look?
They look like the typical donkey. They have that familiar dun color, D-U-N, which is brownish gray, and some other shades. Some of them have dark ear marks, as well as a white nose and white rings around the eyes, and a white belly and inner legs.
Charmaine told me that donkeys are related to horses. I can see that.
So she did do a little something, yes. They look alike, but there are some differences. Horses have hooves that are hard. A donkey's hooves are more flexible. Horses and donkeys have manes, you know, that hair growing on the neck. But while a horse's mane is usually thick, soft, and long, a donkey will typically have a thin, stiff, bristly mane that seldom gets long enough to hang down the neck. Their mane will remain standing up. Ha!
That's a good one, especially for you. Now, what about the ears?
Donkeys obviously have large ears, and they're designed to cool them in hot weather. Horses' ears are way smaller, and the tail of a horse is like a short stub, with long hair growing out of it from top to bottom. Donkeys, on the other hand, have long tails, with short hair at the bottom only.
Horses' tails short with long hair, donkeys' tails long with short hair.
You've got it. There's more. First, a donkey's coat, you know, the hairy skin that covers its body, is rougher than a horse's coat and has air pockets between the hairs. It's designed in this way for protection from extreme heat, because donkeys are desert creatures. They originated in the African desert. Horses have a smooth coat and a protective undercoat, but donkeys don't, so when it's rainy and wet, they could get ill. Second, a donkey's head is larger in proportion to its body than a horse's head.
You store all of this information in your large head?
I choose to ignore that. Just make sure you keep it in yours.
I'm recording this. Now, what about their voice?
Well, donkeys don't live in herds like horses and ponies do, and that's probably why they've developed their very loud, raspy voices, which can carry just over 3 kilometers, which is about 2 miles. You can't forget the braying sound, and it can go on for 20 seconds. Ee-aw, ee-aw. You should hear the ones who live over here in Inagua.
Henry, remember Miss Wilson, our high school biology teacher? She had a voice just like that. We used to call her Eeyore behind her back, as in Eeyore the donkey from Winnie the Pooh.
Miss Eeyore. Anyway, that loud call or bray of the donkey may have helped it to keep in contact with other donkeys over the wide spaces of the desert. And remember, donkeys have large ears, which may pick up the calls of other donkeys in the distance.
So they communicate like that?
You could say so.
And how in the dickens did donkeys get all the way from the desert to Inagua in the Bahamas?
Well, Bahamians know that Spain and England built colonies in the Bahamas, but some don't know about France. Donkeys were taken to France and other European countries from Africa. Then, when France built colonies in the Bahamas in the 16th century, in Abaco and Inagua, they brought donkeys here as livestock.
And what made or makes donkeys good farm animals?
Donkeys are healthy creatures. They often live for 25 or more years. In prosperous countries, they may have a lifespan of 30 to 50 years. Some have been recorded as living to the ripe old age of 60. Also, although no one's riding the wild donkeys in Inagua, you can ride donkeys just like horses, with saddles and harnesses being used. Although donkeys are more laid back and prefer to go at a pace that is good for the donkey, which is not always what people think is best.
I've heard they kick hard.
If they have to. But donkeys are generally very friendly, affectionate, patient, and dependable. Once a person has earned their confidence, they can be great companions, and their nature makes them excellent for children or disabled persons to ride, especially since donkeys don't like to gallop. Galloping is usually not on the program. Donkeys have a notorious reputation for stubbornness. They will freeze rather than run away, and maybe that's why they're called stubborn. It's difficult to force or frighten a donkey into doing something it thinks it's dangerous.
Yeah, maybe that's why some of my friends say I'm as stubborn as a donkey.
Are you as valuable as a donkey? In many developing countries, a donkey is a person's most prized possession. People use them to pull loads and carts on farms or at mills and at wells. In Inagua, donkeys were once used to carry salt to the boats for shipment to the mainland. When cars and trucks replaced donkey transport, the animals were released into the wild.
Do donkeys get along with other animals?
Dogs and donkeys usually don't mix, and we see that in Great Inagua, although they can be trained to leave the house or farm dog alone. But donkeys have a calming effect on horses. Once a donkey has bonded with a herd of horses, it will protect them against canine predators, such as dogs. It lies with the animals at night, and if it hears any strange noises, it will warn the herd, chase the predator, and trample it if it can. Donkeys defend themselves by biting, striking with the front hooves, or kicking with the hind legs. You should see the Inagua donkeys in action.
Shamin wants to know a little about how donkeys reproduce.
Let's see. A genet, which is a female donkey, is normally pregnant for about 12 months and usually gives birth to a single foal. And donkeys can interbreed with horses. A mule is the cross between a jack, which is a male donkey, and a mare, which is a female horse. And not many people know that donkey's milk was once valued as a medicine and was given to premature babies and sick children and to people suffering from tuberculosis. People still drink it. For example, I read on the internet that more than 50% of the donkey milk produced at this farm in Italy is sold to pediatric hospitals for children who are allergic to cow's milk. Donkey's milk contains more protein than cow's milk and less fat.
Really? Bottle some of that milk and bring it to Nassau for me.
As long as you don't ask me for some of that good donkey meat.
I've heard stories of people who hunt the donkey. The people in the South like meat that much?
Watch it now. I'm a Southerner.
Sorry, man. Don't be so sensitive. I was only joking. But I understand why that could be a sore spot. Because I remember reading in the Tribune that the Inagua wild donkeys are in danger of being hunted to extinction. Sad.
Yes. It hurts me that people are destroying an important part of Inagua's culture. Local people have been hunting the donkeys that live on Great Inagua because they do things like wander onto the runway and prevent airplanes from landing, block the roads, and eat crops. And with their parents gone, the parentless foals are left to die. So donkeys are on the decline in Inagua. The donkeys need formal protection, need to be on the Wild Animals Protection Act, which is what the National Trust is seeking to get from the Bahamian government.
I hope you get it. Just listening to you has me concerned. Henry, thanks so much for your time, man. I'm going to get Shamin up now.
No problem. Give her a kiss for me and tell her this joke. What do donkeys send out at Christmas time?
I don't know what.
Mule-tide greetings. Get it? Muletide? Yuletide?
Henry, go home.
Donkey want water.
Hold him, Joe.
You better hide your daughter.
Hold him,
When
Joe.
me donkey want water.
Hold him, Joe.
He went round the corner.
Hold him, Joe.
This concludes part 1 of the test. You have 3 minutes to check and revise your notes.
All right, so you have 3 minutes to check and look over your notes, to add anything you need to add. Look at the notes section to know what you need to include, and also from your own personal notes, look at that and see what things you need to include. I'll give you 3 minutes to do that. Let's go.
Hold on, so that wasn't a part of part.
Say it again.
That wasn't a part of part 2 of the exam.
No, you have an additional 3 minutes after the second reading
What the 3 minutes for?
to make notes, to make some more notes.
No, because I was on part 2. I can't understand. Like,
You was on part 2? No, you shouldn't have been on part 2.
oh, I should.
You're still on the notes. So you shouldn't be in part 2. You shouldn't be here. All right? You're still in the notes section. All right? You shouldn't see part 2 until after this 3 minutes or so. All right? All right, so let's go.
Yeah, Mr. Potato.
Say it again.
Never mind.
Okay. Okay, so that's up. Okay, so how do you all feel about how you took your notes?
I write
How
it.
do you feel about how
I
you
write
took your notes?
everything.
You write
You
everything.
could
Pressure.
do better. You
I
could do
think I
better.
could
I
write
wrote
a lot
like
of
3 pages worth of notes.
You go about 3 pages.
I write stuff they ain't ask for it. They ain't even ask.
You do it. You do that long neck.
All right.
Um,
Go ahead.
I think I feel pretty okay before the second recording, you say when they said at 3 minutes, I read the questions and then I listened to the recording again. The kind of gauge, the kind of questions they're gonna ask on,
You read the what? The notes or the record?
the part where they say don't, they're not gonna mark. I read the questions to kind of gauge. The second time,
You mean
okay,
part two or the notes?
no, the notes ones, like the mini questions they had there.
Okay.
So as I went for the second recording, I tried to fill them in more and add extra. So I feel as if I did okay. What I probably did terrible on was the comparison between the donkeys and the
Yeah.
horses.
Me too.
I agree.
I get majority for the donkey. I was so focused on
Well,
the
that was
donkey.
easy though.
I
I got
forget
so
about
much
the
for the
Yeah, too
horse.
fast.
donkey.
You was saying that so fast.
Yeah, too fast,
You
bro.
was saying it
Yeah,
fast.
I was so confused. I was like,
I got a lot, but I got most for the donkey.
yeah, I got majority for donkey. I don't have much for horses, but
I feel I
I know
did
they'll be
good.
opposite.
I feel I did good seeing as this is my second time doing this today.
Okay.
I just didn't do the opposite.
Okay, give me an example of how your notes read, like what you just have written down.
Okay.
I start off with the island.
No, I mean like read something from your notes section. Like just read something.
Um, I have that the donkeys came from France. Stay healthy. They live from like 30 to 50 years.
You have that written down like that?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Works at BNT. Lives Great in
Exactly.
Agua. High school makes good friends.
Yeah.
2 islands.
Exactly.
Near Cuba. Southern Islands.
Yeah.
Dunkeld.
Exactly. Okay.
I marked white nose belly. Ears, big
Exactly.
ears, long tail, rough
Uh-huh.
coat, large head.
Exactly.
Horses, thick, soft, long remain. The remain comment he had. Small. They have small ears,
Uh-huh.
long hair, short tail, smooth.
Okay. You don't have to
Their
give me all.
voice.
You don't have to give me all.
I got most of them.
Anyone else want to give me like a snippet of what they have written down?
For me, a donkey. Okay, this is what my note says. The donkey's milk is useful. Children who are allergic to cow's milk. They are also useful for people who have tuberculosis.
Okay. All right. Anyone else want to read what they have?
I just basically got most of the description.
Yeah.
Some stuff about Henry.
Okay. Go ahead,
Stuff like
Juan.
that.
I have donkeys of long ears,
Mm-hmm.
long tail, short hair at the end of the tail,
Mm-hmm.
thick grizzly manes around the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Okay, that's enough. That's good. Go ahead, Ricardo.
When a donkey and horse breed, it's called a mule.
Yeah. All right. Let me just. So I have how much pages now? I have probably.
It have to be like, it don't have to be in specific order, right? No,
No, I don't have a specific order.
Because I missed a lot of stuff. I realized what they saying, and I don't have half of them stuff. So
How much pages you have?
I don't have. I know. I take very short notes. One sentence, everything.
Yeah.
One sentence.
I got 2 pages.
On my end, I have
One page. Sorry.
I have 7 pages.
Huh? 7 what?
Yeah, 7.
How?
And let me tell you what I have. And let me tell you how I written them down. So I just gonna be honest with you. The first time, and this will probably be helpful for you, right? In the first reading, so this is a combination of the first reading and the second one. Altogether, it's 7 that I have. On the first reading, I looked at this question. Let's say details about Henry, and I have Henry, classmate of Jessica, lives in Inagua, knows a lot about wild donkeys. And then they said details about their relationship. No specific information about Inagua. I have he shares that Inagua is separated into two parts, Little Inagua and Great Inagua. It's the southern part of the Bahamas. And then I have donkeys have big ears, protect horses. During that time I was writing whatever I could remember from the passage. I also have, I just want to let you get a feel of how I take in these notes. During the thing, I wasn't trying to write whole sentences. What I was trying to do is, like, for example, I have southernmost, closest to Cuba, Great and Little Inagua, song Inagua best kept secret, numbers decrease, many wild on both islands, 600 square miles, 300 square miles, little completely inhabited. They go to the beach for mosquitoes. Typical donkey, down color, brown gray. I just have it short. I ain't going into no long. I just have whatever would. This is how I write it. Whatever could give me like keywords so I can remember. That's what I write. So I didn't write no long sentence like the red donkey was little. No, it was just quick names that I could remember. I could always um resort back to. Okay, so with that being said, let's go to
I have one question before we leave the notes. Can you go down to the last question? What did you write down? I just really want to know how to target that.
I didn't know how to put that.
No, I put use of sound.
This?
I put use of words, comparison. That's it. Well, what else I missing?
Okay, what I put here?
Colloquial language.
What I put here, I put the song at the beginning.
Yeah, use of song.
The dialogue between friends. Conversational tone.
What about jokes?
The use of jokes, yeah. And sarcasm. That's what I have. Yeah. Okay. Anything else I'm missing from the use of methods or techniques to keep the rhetorical? Okay, let me think about it. They did the song at the beginning. The use of dialogue between friends. They speak in a conversational way to get your interest in. I would say also the use of interesting facts that they put inside there. Like, for example, they talk about how 50% of the milk in Italy or something like they were saying, and they talk about how some people are allergic to cow's milk, and how the donkey's milk have more protein and less fat. So the use of interesting facts also kept the conversation going. We can also say flashbacks too.
I have that one. I got that one.
Yeah, flashbacks. How they flashback to talking about their teacher and
what her name was?
Miss Wilson.
Miss Hee Haw.
I thought it was Hee Haw.
Oh, Miss Wilson.
It was wrong for that.
Well, they're wrong about a lot of stuff. That's typical Bayman conversation. I guess they could also say the appeal to sympathy. That I could say that. The appeal to sympathy.
What you mean by that?
I don't know if you all heard that at the end, like where the lady said, "That's sad." Remember when she said that? Talking about the the state of the donkeys and how they're being extinct. And she said,
I remember.
Yeah, she said she'd feel.
she said, "Oh, that's sad." So she's appealing to sympathy. You know what I mean? Like, making us feel, trying to make the reader feel a mood of sympathy towards what's happening. Um, um, mm, uh, yeah, that's I only
Use
have
them jokes.
nine techniques: the song, the dialogue, the conversational tone, the jokes, the sarcasm, interesting fact, the flashbacks, and appeal to sympathy.
I see where I went wrong. I was trying to write a sentence.
No, don't try to write sentences. No keywords and key facts. Because if you try to write sentences, the man will talk so fast and you ain't get it. You know what I mean?
I got everything but all them description.
That's good. That's one part that I really wish I did get more of. Okay, so let's start answering the questions. So now, this is very easy. What is one possible reason why Jessica chose to call Henry for help with her daughter's project rather than to turn to someone else?
He lives in Inagua.
He works.
He's knowledgeable about
He works at the
donkeys.
Okay, there's several reasons, way more than one. So, let's talk about it. So this one of the strongest reasons is that he actually is knowledgeable, basically very knowledgeable. Okay, if I spell this right, he's very knowledgeable about Inagua and the donkeys. That's the main reason, right? Wild donkeys that live there. Okay, that's why Inagua wrong. I spell it that. I guess they don't have that there. What's another reason?
Isn't it because he lives there and works at the National Trust?
In Inagua, so that's good. He lives in Great Inagua, right?
Yes, sir. Great Inagua.
The other thing that we could say is that anyone else? Oh, he works at the, what is it? The Bahamas National.
I forget.
Bahamas National Trust.
Bahamas National Trust.
Anyone actually had that in their notes?
Yes, sir.
Me, I did. I had it.
I had the first
All
one.
I have is Bahamas National Trust. I know he works at the Bahamas National. I just
I
have
would be
Bahamas National
and
Trust.
T.
That's a good way to do it. Abbreviate it. All right. And the reason why I say Bahamas National Trust is because I can know once I see Bahamas National Trust, I can know what they're talking about. They're talking about his job. So I don't have to put he works at the Bahamas National Trust. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? So that's a good way to shorthand it. And I like the way Nancy did. She just put BNT. But I didn't know the abbreviation for Bahamas National Trust. So, what's another thing? I don't
Could
know.
it be that he knew her for
Yes.
a long time?
Yes.
They was best
They're former schoolmates.
Yeah, they are. Yes, exactly. He is her
Classmate.
Closest classmate.
Classmate, and they have a close relationship. That's one of the strongest reasons as well. Okay, because he called out what? Favorite, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he called her favorite. And also he said, remember he said anything for Charmaine?
Yes, sir.
So he
Yes, sir.
knows and cares for Charmaine. Okay.
That's how you spell her name? Wow.
What do you spell Charmaine?
I had a whole different, oh wow.
I don't understand with a C.
I thought Charmaine is spelled with an S.
Yeah, it's not like a C.
Yes, I like a C.
It sounds like a C. Charmaine.
I legit put the actual main word, like main, main. I put like
Oh,
SH
no.
main.
I guess it could be this, or it may even be a C. Let's see. Charmaine. Oh yeah, it's Charmaine. It's with a C. Charmaine is what it is. It's a C. Okay, so good. I think either one of these is fine. Okay, but any one of these is fine. One with positive reason why you choose. But they say rather than determine for anyone else, I think if I were to say which one is the best, is this one. He's very knowledgeable.
That's the one I did.
And the wild donkeys that live there.
And you could also say like he lives there too. It's not a good
He
reason.
lives in great, but they say rather than determine and anyone else. A lot of people live in Great Inagua, but that doesn't mean that they know a lot about it. See what I'm saying? So also because I mean, let's be honest, she know him like she have his number like you know.
No, 1 and 4.
Yeah, number 1 and 4 is strong, right? They're strong. The other ones could work too. I wouldn't discount that. He lives in Great Inagua. He works at Bomb Sound, so just all of them are good possible. Now notice they say 1. So in your thing, choose the best one. If I were to go with 1, I would say this. All right.
I put all, but I only.
So let's move on to the second. I'm surprised they put that question. That's too easy. I guess they ain't out to kill you. But as you can see, this question this one is an intuitive. You are the like. This is not just recital. This is like, you know, you have the kind of infer. So I like this. Give 2 specific pieces of evidence that make it clear that Henry and Jessica have known each other for a long time. There's several things. Oh my goodness, we could go into a lot of things. What what um what um what what piece of evidence you could say make it clear that they have known each other for a long time?
When the past when Henry say my favorite schoolie.
Yeah.
He also said you only
They
come
also talk about
What's
their
him?
old school teacher.
Okay. So let's take it one at a time. So Henry, we can say, okay, Henry calls her his favorite schoolie. Which implies the close relationship.
That extra part you add on, you have to do that.
What?
When you when you're trying to justify it,
What extra part?
trying to justify your answer, like you say, he calls her favorite schoolie,
Yes.
which implies that,
Yes.
like you're trying to explain it.
Yeah, I trying to defend it. Yeah. Yeah. So I wouldn't just say he calls her her favorite schoolie. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say, okay, what can I get from that? You know what I mean? Uh another thing that happens is that
They talk about their old school teacher.
yeah, so they Henry and Jessica reminisces, and so the thing is that you don't just want to just state the fact, but you want to do it in a, because this is a language exam, and so you want to also show that you kind of have a little skill, I guess, and so just adding a little part is important. Henry and Jessica reminisces. Let's see, on past experiences together. For example, joking about
Do we go in detail, like to say biology teacher, junior high school?
Just joking about that biology teacher.
No, I asked him, do we go in detail with those kind of stuff?
Once you know the information, once you have the information, if you don't know the information, don't, because like I could remember that it's a biology teacher. I could remember the name. If I didn't remember that, I was just gonna say joking about that former teacher. I wouldn't say the name. You know what I mean? So you go as in depth as you could remember. All right. Remember Henry knows about Jessica's child. You know, no introduction about this is Claire. Let me say this is Claire because no introduction was needed for Charmaine to Henry. So obviously he had to know about her before. Henry and Jessica are very casual and conversational, even to the point of witty jokes toward
Elizabeth,
one another.
like how I
Go ahead. So it shows that they know each other. For example, or we can say also for example, I guess we can say for example, when Jessica, we can say Jessica jokes about Henry.
Hello?
Arida being a stranger when in fact he is the exact opposite. Okay, I want you to notice how I answer the question.
Mr. Petit,
No.
your screen froze.
My screen froze. Oh, that's what happened. It's still frozen. It's still frozen.
No, sir.
No, sir, not anymore.
Okay, so what I was saying is that where did I left off? At what point? Hello?
Number 4.
Where I was left. Okay, so I'm saying that we can know that they have known each other for a long time because Henry and Jessica are very casual and conversational, even to the point of with making witty jokes towards one another. For example, Jessica jokes about Henry being a stranger when in fact he's the exact opposite. So that remark implies how affectionate they are because he say, "Hey, stranger," when in fact they are not strangers. They are friends, and so they joke about being apart, which tells us that hey, they are actually close. You know. Do we understand that?
guess so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So they only asked for two. If I were to think about more, this was he calls it a favorite student. Oh, Jessica is not shy about asking him.
But some you moving slow.
I'm moving slow. Oh, I guess the internet is slow. As you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 2 minutes. Let me reset something so I can get it up again. All right. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good.
Yes, sir.
All right. So. Okay. Okay. So another reason why we know that they've known each other for a long time because Jess is not shy about asking him for a favor. Um. Especially considering the urgency, well, of the request. So, I mean, she almost knows that he would say yes. You know what I mean? And so, um, I mean, if this is not someone who you know, you wouldn't depend on them last minute. You know what I mean?
So we could put this in our own words, right?
What you mean?
Like, if I said it can be thought that
Yeah.
Henry and Jessica knew each other
Uh-huh.
from the very fact that he even entertained her request.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. He entertained the request, and it's a strong request. And they had a very long conversation too. Um, uh, there was no tensions in the conversation. Everything flowed. It was very light and jovial. All right. So the nature of the conversation itself was very light, jovial, friendly, um, and casual. I said that, yeah, right. So, um, um, okay. And it seems as if Henry doesn't mind being himself because he's even started to sing, right? And so he is very expressive in this. So that also indicates that they are close because you only express yourself like that to people who you really know, you know. Okay, so the next question is I know y'all have to go to bed soon because of the exam tomorrow, but based on information on report, identify the details that would make a visit to Little Inagua memorable that is difficult to forget. All right, now you gotta be careful.
So, Mr. T, it could be good or bad, right?
It could be good or bad, yeah, memorable. What about
We could just throw ideas out there.
Yeah, throw ideas. What do we know about Little Inagua?
Okay. Little Inagua.
It's broken into two parts.
No.
No, Little.
Oh.
It's
Dirty Swift.
It's not really inhabited, so obviously you're going to get like donkeys running around in the road. So let's say you're driving and you just, run into a donkey on the road. I think that'll be memorable. I don't know.
Well, like they said, Little Inagua is completely.
It's inhabited.
Yeah, inhabited. That's what the map says.
So you're going to see them running wild, basically.
That's the first thing he said. He said that they go to the beach for mosquitoes. Was that for Little Inagua?
Yes, sir, it was.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been from Big Inagua?
was talking
So
about
what?
Lily Agua.
You going on the beach and then you get right up.
It's 30 square
It's 30 square
meters.
miles. So
Miles. Sorry.
30 square miles.
So which side of the majority of the donkeys in?
Great.
So wouldn't they run from one side to the next, like from Great Agua? So the mosquitoes on Great Agua, right?
No. He didn't talk about running from one side to the next. You mean on that island they run? I think it's in the evenings. They run to avoid the mosquitoes. So
Yes, sir.
so I guess we can say donkeys fleeing mosquitoes. We can say donkeys in their effort to avoid or evade.
When they say visit, as in us as persons going to visit the Agua? Oh, okay.
Evade or invade?
Run.
We have to come like 30 minutes early.
Yeah, please do. Be there an hour early if you can.
So like 8 o'clock then, Be there 8 o'clock.
Even if you have to wait an hour, please, man.
Okay.
Don't say, oh, I come there like it's 8:45, 15 minutes, boom boom. No. Don't do that. On your exam day, anything that could go wrong will go wrong. All right, and so don't take that chance. I remember.
That's true, you know.
I promise you. I remember.
Because what had happened, we had to switch classrooms. And it ended up someone came in at the second recording because they couldn't find the classroom.
Yeah.
And teachers walking around. So
to say, hey, I remember for my exam, I remember I don't know, boy. I used to pull things very close. So I went and I went to buy some food. And I said, you know what, I could eat before the exam. I thought I had plenty of time. When I come inside the exam, people ready to go. I had my food in my hand. I had to put that in my bag.
I was eating that.
That was my bio exam.
Oh, you got the bar test.
I was man.
It's fatigue. People what is the dress code for the boroughs? I know.
The best
what is the dress code? As in,
wear something that you won't feel cold in.
Because okay.
Yeah, wear something.
So we can't come. Let's say if we wear slacks or
Man, dress professionally because you don't want them to talk foolishness in your head. You can't take example for any.
So just cover everything basically.
Yeah, cover everything. Dress professionally. I mean, I ain't saying wear a necktie, right? But I'm saying dress something that you know how they go.
Yeah, jeans and t-shirt or something like that.
Yeah, something. So I would say it's because that I surprised that they have this question, but based on the recording, if I do that, I would say because it's completely uninhabited, and you would see donkeys running, to run away from mosquitoes. We don't have no other information about the Lily Agua from this question, from the passage. No, we don't.
I mean, you could be one with nature.
Oh, because that's true. The tranquility. That's true. I like that. Tranquility, tranquil environment, tranquil. Because it's inhabited, right? Uninhabited.
You lying again.
Tranquil environment.
You good on my end, you're freezing.
You good now?
Okay, next up is explain 3 specific ways in which donkeys and horses differ in appearance. Writing complete sentences usage below. Alright. Okay, so this is where we...
That should be easy.
It should be easy. If you took good notes, it should be good.
They say 3 each.
The head.
But they give you 4.
The head bait.
Go with the easiest thing. That's it.
Right into this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. They give 4. So 1 each. They say 3, but they give space for 4. All right, so
And then usually do it for additional space just in case.
I think they give it so if people have more than 1 on. Donkeys.
Yeah, because it has 6 points, so I figured they wouldn't give an extra point.
They wouldn't give F. I mean, but then if let's say you have 6, let's say you have 4 points on each side, and 3 of the 4, right? They'll give you a 6. All right, the first thing that we could talk about.
The head.
Head bait.
Whose head?
Donkey.
I'll say the
Donkeys.
Donkeys. The donkeys' head is bigger than their body.
How would we describe the horse's head?
Small.
Decent size.
That's the thing, right? You want something that you could really.
They never
Let's talk about
just said anything about the head. I know the tail.
Their mane for the donkeys is thick. The horses.
Then it was the horses was thick.
No.
The horse is.
The donkey's mane is thin.
Oh yeah, donkeys was thin. My bad. Donkeys was thin.
Yeah, thin. And horses with thick, soft.
Yeah.
I mean thick, soft, and
bristly for the donkey.
And they fall like long and fall.
The donkey's coat are rough.
How about the tails? Let's talk about the tails before we go forward. Tails, so the donkeys was long with short hair.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I am going off is my notes. So, I don't have this written down. I don't know. I don't have done for the tails of the horse, except I have short.
I have this.
They are short.
They have short hair, long hair.
Donkeys have long tail, shorter.
Long tail and shorter.
With long hair.
Long hair.
Tail with long hair, my bad.
Okay, good. And then the third one, someone mentioned about their
hooves.
The donkey.
Coat.
The coat is smooth.
Smooth and underneath. They have an underneath coat.
So horse.
And then donkeys have a thin coat.
That's all we have for donkeys.
And the donkey don't get nothing underneath.
No.
Yeah, that's why it's thin.
Okay, and then horses. What do you say about their coat? Their coat is
smooth, and they have an underneath coat.
Okay. The next thing I have is
the ears.
Oh.
Oh yeah, big ears.
Yeah. There's large. You can say smaller. What else could we say?
The thing they standing on.
The hoof?
One. Yeah.
Hoof.
Oh yeah, I forget about that. Thank you so much. Insert below. For the donkeys, the donkeys have hooves. They have flexible hooves.
Yeah, and
horses have
hard hooves.
Hard hooves.
I think they say something about mane. The horse mane is long, and then the donkey's is like extremely short.
We have that. Well, the mane we only
they're thin.
head. we have large head, and then the horse's head are it have to be smaller than the donkey.
Who can we use like for example the horse female is what the name the male?
One moment.
It's a J, a gen,
Yeah.
a genic is the female.
All right. Okay, I think this is pretty decent, right? Okay, let's regulate it. Good. Okay, good. Next up is the next question. Identify four unusual aspects of a donkey's voice. Um, what I have here is that it's loud,
And can be heard from 2 miles away.
raspy.
Great communication.
It is
It can last the 3 kilometers.
yeah, it can be heard
2 miles.
even heard from a distance of 3 kilometers.
It lasts up to 20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds.
Is that the way, when he said that that's the way they communicate, is that true or that's just a joke he was indicating?
Yes, that's also true.
Okay.
Yeah.
They make a E-E-E-R sound.
Okay, that's true. Makes a distinct
Yeah.
use to as an
I mean, used to communicate with other donkeys. Oh, Lamy.
horses against
And to contact each other in a far distance.
It's just a refresher, but when they say complete sentence, you have the right part of the sentence back.
Put again?
You have the right part of the question back.
Yeah, for sure. So let's say so for okay, right, I'd say several, or I can say unusual aspects of a donkey's voice include the following. And then I'll list it off later. So I'd say a donkey's voice is loud. A donkey's voice is raspy, and so I just abbreviated, but you understand what I mean. So a donkey's voice is raspy. It can be heard for a distance of 3 kilometers. Can last 20 seconds. I'm not writing a complete sentences, but you do that while in your exam. Okay, so you'd say a donkey's voice is raspy. A donkey's voice can be heard from a distance of 3 kilometers. A donkey's voice can last for 20 seconds, and so on. You understand what I'm saying?
So will you do that like as in bullet points or?
You could do it in bullet points. You could do it in bullet points, but make sure they understand what you're saying. So like I have a donkey's voice is loud. That's a sentence. You know what I mean? But I just bullet it out so that we can see clearly what's happening. So I could say a donkey's voice is.
We can't do like that. Comma thing. Since we're doing bullet point.
What do you mean?
The quotation marks.
Can. What do you need the quotation marks for?
For repetition.
Ah, no. You know you don't do that. You do not do that. That's board. Quick notations, not for exam. It's high sound. Anyway.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Okay, so that's that one. It's so almost time for us to go. Based on the recording, explain 5 specific benefits of owning a donkey. Oh, this is easy. Oh boy. We should be rid of.
I live up to 24 something years.
Okay. Benefits of owning a donkey. Number 1.
You can use to be carrying disabled people, huh?
A donkey, I can start from the first thing. A donkey can live a very healthy life and has a I'll say I don't want to say decent, but whatever I use the last one. Decent lifespan. Or I can say and can live.
We're on the 6th question now?
Yeah, for a very long time. For example, yeah, we can just keep it like that. Okay, even the ripe old age of 60 years. So the good benefit of owning a donkey is that they can live very long. Donkeys, like horses,
Medicine?
can be used for traveling purposes. Or for recreational purposes, since one can ride on a donkey.
And they could carry like livestock and stuff like that. Like, I mean, crops and stuff. Can they push those kind of stuff?
Yeah, I I'm just trying to go in order of the classes, see?
Oh, sorry.
They are donkeys.
Their milk can be used for to help with tuberculosis.
That's true. That's far end though. We going in order.
They have a prized possession.
You all didn't put them in order?
Oh my god.
In order it was they
Yeah.
Let me see if I put it. Okay, buy donkeys, carry livestock, medicine, allergies,
companions.
Used to carry salt.
more protein, less fat. That's it.
What?
Wow.
Plastic.
I'm getting all these from my notes, you know.
Listen to the guy. You need to come sit my examination. Don't you make?
My notes. See, all I put, let me do what I put to get it. All I put is donkey is slow. Donkey is friendly, affectionate, great companions. Children.
The donkey calms the horses.
That's further down, man. I ain't read that yet. Donkeys are
What?
great. Yeah, that's further down. Donkeys are a great companion because they are friendly. They are affectionate. Let's say friendly and affectionate.
Oh, they also defend those who befriend them.
That's true. Yes, donkeys are great child. Great child. Great children. Children as a means of since they do not gallop like the horses. The horses, children can amuse themselves by riding on them safely. All right. Um. Um.
Could you like infer that donkeys won't run in the face of danger?
There's a
Like,
definitive are effective for carrying loads. They said that. Um, um, for example, used in the past for carrying what?
Salt.
Salt.
props.
Salt.
And sand.
Salt. The boats. Um, donkeys can be used to protect other farm animals. For example, what did they talk about? The horses. Use use as an alerting mechanism um, defense against predators. All right. What else do we have? Mm-hmm. Oh, they're milk. So donkey is milk. Can be used. Oh wow, it's after 9:30. What y'all want me to do?
Just finish it.
Finish it off.
Say almost finished it.
Say it again.
I said I almost finished them.
Okay. All right. Donkey's milk can be used for who?
It's for children. It's for children
For a person
who are allergic to
What's up,
cow's milk.
Broncos?
who are allergic to cow's milk.
I need to write 5, right?
Say it again. Don't try to
I
look for
only need to write
don't
5, right?
don't try to look for shortcuts. Donkey's milk.
Why are you in my head but don't look for shot?
Donkey's milk is beneficial. Now, you know, as a vegan, I don't believe this, right? But donkey's milk is beneficial because it contains more protein and less fat than cow's milk. So it supplies nutritional value to humans. And donkey's meat, right? Forms part is a component of the dishes that persons make for sustenance. All right. All right, good stuff. Again, all this is from the notes that I took.
You could also use a donkey to make a mule.
I saw that one. I'm like, is that even useful? I looked at it. I was like,
Isn't the question like benefits for humans? Like as in
what did it say?
benefits of owning
Owning a donkey. Well, let's go. Let's go. Donkeys can be used to.
How donkey me get in this?
Say it again.
Yeah, donkey meat. What do you say?
How donkey me get into this?
Remember when he said that the delicious something meat, the donkey meat? Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's oxymoronish because I'm a vegan, so it's like, why are they doing this to me? But I've to answer the question. So, donkeys can.
He felt hurt when he heard that.
Oh boy. Yeah. Donkeys can be used.
But they do even go on dinners. Like, can people actually take you out to dinner if you know you're vegan? Like,
of course, there's a vegan options, you know.
Oh, okay.
We have lives. I mean, I don't like y'all are.
Carrot soup, eh?
Say carrot soup. You gotta carrot soup. I had a mushroom burger, okay? And we had cauliflower bites. Barbecue cauliflower bites. Those off the chains, my friend. Those were off the chains. I telling you. I mean, they were amazing. They were amazing.
Honestly, can we continue? Because these dishes sound, they don't even sound nice.
That's me. That was nice.
You had for appetizer, Mr. Petit.
Huh? What do you mean by appetizer? What's that? You mean what you have before
What
the
you
meal?
had for appetizer?
That is salad. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was the
He had
that was
wine. Wine is
Got a salad.
appetizer.
anyway. I on your run. You are different. Anyways, um, in meeting, mules. Okay, okay, okay. So let's get to it. The next one. About how much more questions we have? We have a lot more. And we slowing down like this? Wow, wow, wow. Okay, what specific behavior?
Maybe just don't go into so much detail.
Listen, y'all exam tomorrow.
Yeah, but that we need the rest too.
Y'all need the rest. That's true. Um, we almost done anyway. I hope I can be done by 10. What specific behavior of some people living in Agua could lead to extinction of wild donkeys? That's easy. So the hunting and eating of the donkey.
Overharvesting.
What I could think of. What's the next thing they said? Give 3 details that suggest the behavior of donkeys has caused some evidence of Inaba to be concerned about the survival of these wild creatures.
There's no place for them to stay, so they wander in the roads and stuff, and accidents could happen and stuff like that.
Knockdown.
And then how also it said that when they were left alone, as in the mommy and the daddy weren't there, so yeah.
They want one reason.
They say 3. So give 3 details that suggest the behavior of donkeys has caused some evidence of Inaba to be unconcerned. Oh,
You skipped 7A.
We already did 7A. 7A. The hunting and eating of donkeys.
Oh my God.
See, that's why it's important to read the question. What they say. Give 3
This is
details.
it.
No, not you. No, I'm talking about B. Give 3 details that suggest the behavior of the donkeys has caused some residents of Inago to be unconcerned about their survival. Like, what?
Roadblocks and stuff like that.
They damaging people's
Roadblocks.
vehicles.
They're eating the crops. They're eating the plants and stuff.
Very good.
They're blocking the roads. When planes trying to land, they would be in the laneway.
So
Yes.
wandering on the runway.
Eating the livestock they have.
Yeah, eating the crops. Okay, those are the 3 things that I could remember. And I guess they are generally chaotic. Generally chaotic. And the reason why I say chaotic is because, remember, they are parentless. And so because they are parentless, of course they're gonna act, in a chaotic behavior.
I thought he was gonna say because they always fighting the dogs.
Why would, you know? And so.
I wonder why they hate dogs, though.
That's interesting, right? But they could learn to love them.
Understand cats because cats annoying, but dogs, what dogs do to them?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe dogs are like more big rival. I'm surprised that they like horses. That would surprise me. Okay. Next up is, okay, identify 3 methods used or techniques used in recording that made the conversation between Henry interesting and entertaining. Base your ideas and a chance to support each one with the details from the recording. Okay, we have this, right? We talked about this earlier. I'm just gonna put it in in actual words. I speak this one that Nancy asked me about earlier. So we have methods and support. So I'd say dialogue immediately. That's what I want. So conversation between Jessica and Henry. I'd say use of jokes. For example, joking.
The one he used at the end.
That's a specific one, joking about. Oh yeah, let's use that one. Then we could say, oh no, let's use the first one. Hey, stranger. Uh, um, um, mm,
Last joke at the end.
how about the joke about his large head, right? Remember that?
Yes,
The
sir.
one where they talk about their teacher? Yeah.
No, Henry's large head.
You
Remember?
mean when she
Where
said
he
that
say
it's not
you're
all
big.
that in your big head?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So you'll have to remove like hey stranger then.
No, I just let's say jokes. Okay. Uh Now obviously you would go into more details. I'm just shortcutting because of the time. You would be a little bit more detailed. Hey stranger. Um you'd probably say when Jessica said hey stranger. Um or you can say um we can say um,
Flashback.
yeah, flashback. Like it. Um
A song?
say it again.
That's one where they use the teacher,
Song?
yeah.
Sound, yeah.
Song, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, sound. Um flashback is
Reminiscing of school?
yeah, remembering. I feel like we said that before, but
That's the note section.
notes. Oh, right now. Okay, flashback. Okay, good. Henry and Jessica reminiscing on past experiences they had. Good. This is a good one. This how the support should be written like this. Um, songs. For example, the song about donkeys in the beginning of the recording, and also Henry singing in the conversation. We have um, appeal to sympathy. Uh, So Jessica, when considering the tremendous decline of the donkeys, said, "That's sad." This is meant to evoke in the learner a sense, not the learner, but listener, a sense of compassion and empathy towards the terrible state of the endangered donkeys in Inagua. Interesting facts. Uh, so specific details of the donkey, their uses. What else we have? Sarcasm.
We gotta write a letter too.
Why you say letter?
No, I mean at the bottom part of this.
They say write a letter.
Yeah, they write a letter.
Wow. Hey, stranger. What else could we say? I'll also say conversational tone. Um, I'll say use of language. All of them could be included. All right. Okay. Next up is. Okay, that's it.
We done.
Yeah, we done.
Mr. D, can you go back on the slide, please?
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
No problem. I realized something. They said, give 3 methods that are used and record to make the conversation between Jessica and Henry interesting and entertaining. So they already said dialogue because they admit that it's a conversation between Jessica and Henry. So I would say instead of just dialogue, I would say I would include a Bahamian dialogue, and I'd say conversation with Jessica and Henry in a conversational way using colloquial language. That's what I'd say. So language that is common to us and understanding. All right, so that's what I'd say.
I could get that, please.
Yeah, let me move this. Good. Very interesting. Okay. So are we good?
You could go over the last section, like just
What section?
the section under this.
You know section under that?
Yeah.
What section that is?
What you mean? This
I could
paper ain't
finish right
over?
Sorry.
It's paper 3.
It's paper 3.
Oh, okay, so that's on the whole next day.
That's all on next day, yeah.
Okay, make
Okay.
it really easy.
I got it.
Y'all trying to scare yourself already? What is this?
I didn't look enough how to set up a letter.
I could different day. I never have a schedule.
I could finish right the note.
Yeah, no problem. What I'd say is make sure to pray before you take your exam. I'll be praying out for y'all as well. Do your best. I want
Wish
to
y'all all the best.
Well, I get some tips from this.
Yeah. I want
I
to
get some tips.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I get some tips during this. On what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, that's good.
Much appreciated, Mr. Petit. Honestly, much appreciated.
Oh my.
I feel confident. Like
That's over there.
you don't know. I will wake up with this kind of confidence tomorrow.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. All I want to have is good news. I wish they put the same recording. That'll be so good. Why if they do that?
Maybe that's Mike, because they don't really try.
It's a walk in the park. They
If they do that, that ain't over.
It's a walk in the park.
Yeah, but all the best, people. It's not gonna be hard. It's not whatever they do. It's not gonna be hard. It's gonna be easy.
All got this.
You know what I mean? And so all the best. Do your best. You know that's all I can ask you.
How much this paper 2 worth again?
I don't know, you know. As a percentage of your overall thing, I don't know. Let's see. They say paper train. It wouldn't say yes. Well, it might know. Let's see. How much points is the paper worth? This paper is.
I think 30 over. I got a 38.
They say it's out of. Let's look at the final thing and see. It's out of 30 marks. So you get 30 marks from this. So I don't know how much a percentage that is. But get the full 30 for this. And have a wonderful night. I don't want to keep you on much longer. Don't be late. Wake up on time. This went for 3 hours and never. That's not true. How?
See, we listen to you.
It's 10 o'clock.
Wow. Anyway, have a good night. Blessings. All the best. All right. Take care.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
You tell us your turn.
Make us proud.
Make us proud indeed.
We need to have some good news.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Only
Yeah,
good.
we could be the forerunners. We could be the
Yeah, I want good news.
forerunners.
All right, have a good one.